a massive victory in his court cases, which I'm going to lead with, because all these Trump cases are falling apart, just falling apart, one by one. Georgia, now the D.C. case. So I'm going to go through all this, and just a great day. This is why they're having meltdowns. Let's see. All right, welcome to the program, everyone. It is Friday, February 2nd. That's right, 2024. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 47 years on the radio. Wow, we have so much to cover today. Such great news for President Trump. Another one of the cases, it has fallen apart. And I'm talking about the D.C. case of Jack Smith with Judge Chunkin. I'm going to go through the details of this, but now this is the case. This is the J6 case in D.C., and it has been removed from the court calendar. They were going to start this trial in March, remember, to time it with Super Tuesday. They have removed President Trump's D.C. J6 case from the court calendar, and it has been postponed indefinitely, which is stage one to it being dismissed, tossed out, fading away. And I'll go through the details of this in a bit, but they're all falling apart, right? They're all falling apart. You notice that weirdo judge in the property case in New York? He put off releasing the findings of the court for months. Wonder why? Yeah, that's right. And so we've got Fannie Willis in Georgia finding out that she takes government money, uses it to become a sugar mama, gets this gigolo lawyer, and she travels around America and visits other countries with him on taxpayer money. We find out that illegally she and her boy toy, gigolo, are having meetings with Biden's lawyers in the White House before bringing charges against Trump in Fulton County. So that case is falling apart. This J6 case in D.C., which we'll get into, this one is falling apart. And of course, the absurd classified documents case, that's in front of a Trump-appointed judge right here in Florida in Fort Pierce. So this is a beautiful thing. All these three federal cases are history. So this is great. And the one in D.C., Now remember, the judge in the D.C. case who has removed the case from her calendar. That's amazing. Remember now, she's very corrupt, right? She was appointed by Obama, but when she was in private practice, she was a partner at a law firm, the law firm that Hunter worked at. That's right, Hunter Biden. Is there another? She was Hunter Biden's boss at the law firm. His main client, his big fish client, was Burisma. So you got an Obama-appointed judge in Judge Chunkin in D.C. She was Hunter Biden's boss, and she was a partner. And being a partner, that means she's co-owner of the business. So she profited from Burisma. And now the case has been removed from her court calendar. The Gateway Pundit, it's being reported in multiple sources. First, I'll share with the Gateway Pundit. Headline, Trump D.C. case has been removed from court calendar. According to several reports, the Trump case in Washington, D.C. has been removed from the court calendar, the Gateway Pundit is reporting, and the case has been postponed indefinitely. This is a great day. This is absolutely... Oh, wait till you hear what I have on Nikki Haley coming up. Don't miss that. She's dumber than you thought she was. Nikki Haley is dumber than you thought she was. And I know you thought she was pretty dumb. But anyway, back to this. The case was... the D.C. Trump case was scheduled for March 4th, 2024, right before the Super Tuesday primaries. Gateway Pundit says, this is a huge blow to radical Obama judge Tanya Chutkan and the Marxist Anti-Trumpers, absolutely. The Democratic Party and globalist left, they were hoping to use lawfare cases like this to damage Trump before Super Tuesday. Now they're in trouble. Okay, so the Washington Post has the story. Now, the Washington Post is a proud liberal paper, and it's also a deep state operation. Remember, the Washington Post is the paper of Woodward and Bernstein, the paper of Watergate. So the Washington Post in the 1970s coordinated with the FBI to bring down Richard Nixon, okay? So they're deep state. The Washington Post, liberal, Democrat, and deep state. Washington Post, Donald Trump's March 4th trial on charges has been dropped from the public calendar of the federal court in Washington, a sign of what has long been anticipated, that his claim of presidential immunity from criminal prosecution would delay his trial. Delay? Well, they've taken it off the calendar indefinitely. They've got no case. The charge did not appear on the official criminal docket before Judge Chutkan. That's right. This is it. Now, the question is, how did this happen? Was this Jack Smith's doing? Was it the judge's doing? Was it the deep state? Was it Merrick Garland? See, guys, this is absolutely amazing what's happened here. All of these cases are evaporating. All of these cases are collapsing. And the Fulton County case and this case were the cases that we're going to bring them down. And this one in particular, see, this is what's going on, right? Earlier this week, I went through the new polls. President Trump leading in all the battleground poll states. States where Biden got the Electoral College votes from last time. Trump is ahead of Biden in all of them. Every battleground state. And the polls are just through the roof. They have attempted on several occasions to have President Trump taken off the ballot over this January 6th nonsense. Each attempt has failed. The January 6th case that Jack Smith has with Chutkan here in D.C., that was the case that was going to bring insurrection charges against Trump. And they would use that to keep him off the ballot. So what has happened here? Have they gotten word from the Supreme Court that it won't hold up? Are they afraid and running like rats on a sinking ship because Trump is coming back when he wins in November and takes the oath of office again in January 2025? Who knows? But I do know this, that their two biggest cases are done. Fulton County, done. The D.C. case with Chutkan off the calendar, that's done. And the other documents case is absurd, and that's in front of a Trump judge in Fort Pierce. So this is a beautiful day. This is winning. President Trump is winning, and we are celebrating. Now, it is Friday, and Friday is open phones. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. And on Open MAGA Mike Friday, you are welcome to call in about anything and everything you have on your mind. You're not limited to the stories and topics that we bring up on the program. So it is open phones on Friday, although I do hope that you find the stories and topics that I bring up interesting enough to call in about. You're not limited to those topics. You can talk about pretty much anything you want on Open MAGA Mike Friday. All right, our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1 is on this day of celebration. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. I'm Brian. We'll be right back. Oh, this is massive, guys. Oh, this is so big. This is great. It doesn't get better than this. I mean, this is winning, guys. This is winning. If you're on hold, hang in there. Oh, boy. This is great. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. Let's see here. I'm going to get to some sound bites. I'll take a call or two, and then I'll get to some sound bites. I'm just deciding which one to start with. Go because I've got some good ones that I want to play and discuss. It doesn't get better than this, guys. This is winning. You know, the Fulton County case and the D.C. case were the two cases they thought were going to keep Trump off the ballot and stop him. And they've lost both of them. That is just insanely good news, guys. Just insanely good news. Oh. Trump must be high-fiving at Mar-a-Lago. You know he's up. She's an early morning man. Absolutely. Oh, what a day, guys. What a day. Oh, man. Oh, man. What a day. Just victory after victory. Every scheme since Trump came down the escalator that they try to run, they lose them all. I don't understand. Why don't they just accept that, they're never going to get the guy? Lawfare has failed. Now, listen, guys, if you don't mind, of course, subscribe, like the video. But if you could share this video, my other videos on whatever platforms you use, your social media platforms, your Discord servers, your Reddit groups, wherever you gather, share this channel, help it grow. This is the most MAGA pro-Trump place you will find anywhere. Absolutely. Oh, man. What a great way to start Friday with the J6 case pretty much dropped. I think it's fair to say it's been dropped. They did not want to take that off the calendar. Oh, I'd love to have been in that meeting when that decision was made by these never-Trumpers.
Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at True Oldies FM.
All right, and today it's just an amazing morning. The lawfare is failing. The D.C. case against President Trump taken off corrupt judges Chunkin's calendar indefinitely, which I think it is safe and fair to say that case is dropped. They're just trying to find an exit strategy so they save face. Now, if you're on hold, hang in there. I want to talk to you all about my chiropractor, Dr. Philip Appleton, who's rid me of just terrible pain 5 times, sometimes just from growing old and sometimes from injuries, with my knee and shoulder, for example. His laser wave pain treatment doesn't just take the pain away, it actually repairs the damage that is causing the pain. When you take medications, what you're doing is masking the pain, and pain is telling you that you shouldn't be doing something with your body. And if you take medications, forgetting about all the addictive effects of pain medications, and every medication has side effects, you're doing things with that part of your body you shouldn't be. You can be making the problem worse. The laser wave pain treatment actually repairs the damage causing the pain. It's 100% painless. There are no injections, no drugs, no surgery, no downtime, and just takes a few minutes. It works on so many different types of pain. Plantar fasciitis, spinal stenosis, fibromyalgia, tinnitus, sciatica, knee pain, neck pain, back injuries, strains and sprains, work injuries, arthritis, bursitis, acute pain, chronic pain, herniated disc, rotary tears, and so many more types of pain. Stop suffering. You don't have to suffer with pain anymore. Go see Dr. Appleton. And remember, with Dr. Appleton, appointments are not necessary and walk-ins are welcome even on Saturdays. His number, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonChiro.com. Give Dr. Appleton a call and say bye-bye to your pain. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Oh, hey, Mike. It's a day of celebration.
It really is. And think about this. Courts usually don't like being stepped over, right? And I think this whole thing has everything to do with that immunity claim that Jack Smith tried to step over the appeals court with all the way up to the Supreme Court. They don't like that.
That's right.
And so what I'm thinking is she knows that, I think that immunity claim was supposed to be held in the next few weeks, and she knows that probably.
Well, let me give you an example. This immunity, if presidents don't have immunity, Barack Obama and Joe Biden got SEAL Team 6 killed. SEAL Team 6 took out bin Laden. We knew the SEALs did it, but it was classified which team did it. And was it Obama that said it first, or was it Biden? I can't remember. I think it was Obama. Obama was giving a speech and credited SEAL Team 6 with taking out bin Laden, which was classified top secret information. What happened? Al-Qaeda got together with their spies and the Taliban, found out which helicopter SEAL Team 6 was flying in, and took it out. And it didn't get a lot of press because, Obama did it. So Obama got SEAL Team 6 killed. There were how many of them died in that attack? If you guys, it was over 20. How many died in the SEAL Team 6 attack? So is Obama going to be charged with manslaughter in that case? Or do presidents have immunity? Which is it?
Well, I'm thinking presidents have immunity, and that maybe they shouldn't, but I think they should, and that's the way I think that the appeals court probably will end up, and that's why she took it off her calendar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. It's over. It's over. This is a big one, too, because this January 6th case in D.C., since it was going to start in March, that, super primary Tuesday there, they were hoping by the general election they'd be able to keep him off the ballot, and they failed.
Something else to think about. Judge Cannon over there in Fort MAGA has already delayed this trial once. She's likely to delay that one again and maybe even dismiss it.
No, that's exactly right. Yeah, I mean, this is exciting. I mean, I can't tell you. I am so excited over this. I really am. I am.
And we see in New York City, all three of those cases have basically fallen apart.
Mm-hmm.
New York City, in New York. So, yeah, everything, all this lawfare is ending up being egg on these people's faces.
Mm-hmm. All right. Hey, Mike in Louisiana, thank you for the call. Yeah, I mean, this is just a wonderful day. Now, I guess this is just so beautiful. I mean, the media, now it'll be interesting how the media handle this. I know it was reported in the Washington Post, but there's a big difference between reporting things and really giving coverage. A lot of times the press will report something, not make a big deal about it, so they can say, well, we did report that. But are they going to, this to me is breaking news sounders kind of story at the top and bottom of each and every hour, but I don't think they are going to do that because they don't want to hype that up too much. I mean, this is pretty much the case being dropped. And Fannie and Fulton County, that one is only a matter of time. All right, our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. Now, Nikki Haley's pretty stupid, right? I mean, we all agree with that. But Nikki Haley is dumber than you thought. Listen to this. Now, she got into some trouble a few weeks ago because she didn't know the cause of the Civil War. Remember that? And I played a clip yesterday. She went and did an interview with Charlemagne the God. And I got another clip from that interview with Nikki Haley and Charlemagne the God. And here we are weeks later, and she still does not know the cause of the Civil War because she did not grow up in an American household. She was born in South Carolina, but she was raised by immigrant parents, and she was not immersed into American culture. So things that you and I take for granted, just you grow up in America and know, things that were inside your pencil box in elementary school. Do they still do that, by the way, pencil boxes? About American social studies and history, she doesn't know. And after we break for the bottom of the hour, I have two clips I'm going to play of Nikki Haley. One shows how incredibly stupid and un-American she is. there's certain things that you need to know to be an American president, congressman, senator, even governor, right? I think, and she doesn't know. And then there's another story where, so I got two clips, same interview. One shows how stupid she is, not knowing basic things about our great country. And second, that she's a liar, which also is stupidity to do interviews and lie. So we'll get to that after the break. But we're going to continue with our celebration of the January 6th D.C. case against the greatest president ever, Donald Trump, Obama-appointed judge, Burisma profiteer, former boss of Hunter Biden, Judge Chutkan, has removed the case from her calendar indefinitely. So pretty much has dropped that case. We'll take our break for the bottom. We'll come back and continue the celebration and also get this Nikki Haley stuff out of the way. You're welcome to call in. It is open phones, of course, on Friday. You can call in on Friday's show, since it's Open MAGA Mike Friday, on any and everything you have on your mind, not limited to the topics that I'm going to bring up today on the program. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. And don't forget, guys, catch my weekend shows on YouTube. Brian Craig Show on YouTube. On the weekends on YouTube from my home studio, I do a show very similar to this from my home studio, taking live calls, but it's a little different, and I think you'll enjoy it. Brian Craig Show on YouTube on the weekends. Make sure you check it out. All right, we'll take our break and be back right after this.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane.
Oh, this is great stuff, guys. This is just wonderful stuff. It doesn't get better. It doesn't get better.
The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning.
Deborah gifted a membership. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Actually, Deborah gifted 2 memberships. Thank you. Neil gifted 10 memberships. Thanks for doing that, Neil. And then we got a third gifted membership from Deborah. Now, remember, those of you that are members, even you new members, you get your name in the chat room in a cool new color, and you have access to the member-only emojis, which you'll see there. Also, Neil, a $10 super chat. Thank you so much for that. It's a super sticker saying thank you. Well, thank you for the super chat and your support, Neil. I appreciate that. Oh, my goodness. Oh, man, what a day. Yes, Charmaine just posted all the members-only emojis. Bert's Big Stash, you could not be more wrong. They've got no case. It's all falling apart. Plus presidential immunity. It's all falling apart. What were they hiding in Obama's health records, would you say? Good question. They just can't accept it. They're never going to get Trump because he's done nothing wrong. What a great day. It's over. That's right. Oh, believe me, it pained them to have to do that. That's a house of cards, correct. Yeah, the GOAT. I mean, but believe me, before they postponed that case indefinitely of Trump's, they had senior level meetings. Obama was in on that decision. Canadian MAGA. Yeah, we got a lot of MAGA people in Canada. I didn't realize how many conservative MAGA people were in Canada until we had the truck drivers in Canada do their thing. Fannie Willis very well could end up booked in the Fulton County Jail herself. I mean, she's done some serious stuff there. Oh, great day. Absolutely great day. Yep, Europe too, yes. Yeah, Tucker's speeches are good. I've seen him in person speak, and he's amazing. Oh, just a beautiful day, guys. Plus, it's Friday. Oh, believe me, they're physically ill that they had to postpone that case indefinitely. It just made them physically ill. It's the last thing they wanted to do. Three-day weekend, Bryce? Wow. Yeah, don't miss my weekend live streams, guys. If you have not seen them, they're I take live calls, but they're different than this. A lot of people tell me they like that format better. Well, you know, we've got all these bad cops misusing their authority.
Police and Fire Expo 2024 happens on February 3rd from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's a free, family-friendly event where community members can learn more about the Davie Police and Fire Rescue Departments. Individuals of all ages can enjoy
Oh, yes, winning
interactions with police
most.
and fire personnel.
Oh, thank you, Deuce. I appreciate that.
Crime Dog and Sparky the Fire Dog. First responder demonstrations, children's arts and crafts, and so much more. Ever wanted to see what the SWAT team looks like in action? Or firefighters take on a fire or do a vehicle extraction? Now you can. The Town of Davie Police and Fire Expo, February 3rd at the Public Safety Complex, 1230 South Nob Hill Road in Davie.
All right, we'll be coming back in just 10 seconds. Here we go.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 47 years of...
All right, we are back. 33 minutes after the hour, celebrating today that the January 6th D.C. case of Jack Smith against the greatest president ever, Donald Trump, scheduled to start in March, right before Super Tuesday, has been postponed indefinitely. Could you imagine what it was like when that decision came down? You know Obama was involved in that. He had to sign off on that. Absolutely he did. That's a big deal. Big deal. Day of celebration. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
PJ from Broward.
Oh, hey, PJ. How you ready for the cruise?
Oh, yeah. Hey, by the way, you know, just think about this. What were we doing exactly 1 year ago today?
I don't know. What were we doing?
We're in St. Kitts.
Really? Wow. It's been that long. Was that the train ride in Catamaran in St. Kitts?
Yeah, unfortunately, I was stupid. I learned my lesson. I didn't go on a catamaran. I went to a beach, and you know what? That was a dumb idea.
It was.
I'm going on every single island. I'm going on a group excursion.
Yeah, by the way, just before we get to the content, those of you, our cruise is sold out. This is the first time we've ever sold out our cruise. And there is a suite or two available, and I know there's one suite that has like a big deal going on. So if you want to get a suite, but other than suites, we're sold out, which we've never done before. But if you're already booked on our cruise, call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot today and get booked on the shore excursions. Since the cruise is filled up, we have more people than we've ever had. These shore excursions are going to fill up. We have shore excursions in every port. They're private to us and our group. I will be on every excursion with you, and they're going to fill up. Okay, so call Ian today and book on them. All right, PJ, what's on your mind?
Yeah, so anyway, on today's topic, Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna, here's what she just tweeted a few hours ago. She said, within hours of my office sending a letter asking Jack Smith to produce information regarding his investigation, his case against Trump is removed from the docket. Because she says her thing is that he is not even qualified, that it's unconstitutional or illegal, him being appointed special counsel. So within hours of her asking him to produce information, bye-bye the...
Now, that's amazing. And, I met her, and she's pretty cool in person, I must tell you. All these MAGA Congress people are super cool. They're not those stuffy blue suit guys. But, this case being postponed indefinitely, that had to come from the highest levels. Garland, Obama. To me, this is the equivalent of a complete dismissal.
Yeah. Hey, and you want to hear something really hilarious? Remember Michael Isikoff, the guy that spiked the Monica Lewinsky
oh, yes.
story and made famous?
Yep.
Anyway, do you know what book he just got done writing with another author?
What's that?
He's on a book tour. It just started. He wrote about how great the Georgia case, and was really hyping how prosecutor Fannie Willis is. So now he has this ultimate punishment. He's going on this book tour, and everybody, they want to talk about how great the case is because it's obviously fallen apart, and Fannie Willis proved herself to be a fool.
Well, what Michael Isikoff should do is add a new chapter, Sugar Mamas and Gigolos, and make that a final chapter. Maybe it might be relevant. But, what PJ's referencing there, Michael Isikoff, he's the one, he uncovered the Monica Lewinsky case, right? I mean, he was the one who really uncovered it. And yeah, and I don't know, did he not use it, or did Newsweek not allow him to use it, and did Isikoff give it to Drudge?
Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah, it wasn't used, whatever.
Yeah. And Michael, and it's really a sad thing, because this moment was one of the great moments in journalistic history. Okay, so Michael Isikoff was a reporter for Newsweek magazine in D.C. He had uncovered the Monica Lewinsky affair with Bill Clinton, which was a big deal at the time. 21-year-old intern having sex with the president in the Oval Office. It was a big deal. He was with Newsweek, which very liberal. Would not run the story. Michael Isikoff leaked it to Drudge. Now, Matt Drudge was a nobody at this time. At the time that Michael Isikoff gave the Lewinsky story that Newsweek wouldn't print about Lewinsky, Matt Drudge was working in the gift shop at CBS Studio City in Los Angeles, and he would take stories out of the garbage can and memos out of the garbage can and make them stories on Drudge. And it made Matt Drudge a millionaire many times over. So you have Michael Isikoff used to be, like Drudge, journalist that bucked the system, bucked the establishment, and now they are the establishment. It's really sad, isn't it? And it's amazing.
And now he's facing, him and his writing partner are facing the ultimate embarrassment. You know what? Whenever they ask him about it, it's like they hate it. They can't stand talking.
What do you mean, the Lewinsky story? Or
no.
Oh, Fannie.
The Fannie Willis, yeah.
Oh.
Can't stand it because they spent all that time building her up. And as soon as the book came out, and almost the same time, she got next.
This Michael Isikoff book about Fannie may be the most dated book release in history. Like, the book comes out and it's already out of date. I mean, yeah. All right, PJ, good. So I look forward to seeing you on the cruise, man.
Okay, see you then.
All right, take care. And I mean that, guys. Those of you booked on the cruise, call Ian today. I called Ian yesterday, and we did not know we were going to be sold out on this cruise. We've never sold out a cruise. The last cruise was our biggest group ever. This is our 5th cruise. We're sold out now, except for a couple suites. But when we planned the shore excursions, we didn't plan for as many of, So you got to book now. They're going to fill up, so call him today. All right, now let me get to this thing with Nikki Haley. She's a very stupid person. So a few weeks ago, Nikki Haley got in trouble for not knowing the cause of the Civil War, and she still doesn't know. Now, she might have read a Wikipedia entry or something, and she thinks she has an idea. Slavery. Slavery was certainly the main root cause of I don't call it the Civil War. I call it the Democrat Party insurrection against the federal government because that's what it was. But there was a secondary cause of the Civil War that was almost equal, if not equal, to the slavery issue. So let me play. So Nikki Haley went on Charlemagne de God show and made herself look stupid yet again. All right, here's the, and then I got a clip of her lying, I believe. Listen, Nikki Haley.
Would you use force against Texas if they tried to secede over the border issue? Because I remember in 2010 you said U.S. states should have the right to secede.
Do you believe the United States have the right to secede from the Union?
I think that they do. I mean, the Constitution says that.
You still believe it?
I believe in states' rights. I believe that everything should be as close to the people to decide. Mm-hmm. We know that's not going to happen. Mm-hmm. That's not the issue. Mm-hmm. I think states have the right to make the decisions that their people want to make. Mm-hmm. I mean, they do. In South Carolina, we said we didn't want Syrian refugees. We said we didn't want Guantanamo Bay prisoners. We said those things. I do think that laws should be made as close to the people as possible mm-hmm. because it empowers the people. If Texas decides they want to do that, they can do that.
Oh.
But I don't think that if that whole state says we don't want to be part of America anymore,
wow,
their decision to make. But I don't think government needs to tell people how to live, how to do anything. I mean, I think that we need to let freedom live.
Okay. So Nikki Haley said there at the end that states have the right to secede from the Union. That's what she said at the end. She said it in 2010 in the clip, and then she says it again day before yesterday. Abraham Lincoln tried to broker peace with these Democrat Southern insurrectionists, but he said that President Lincoln said that states do not have a right to secede from the Union, and that was the root cause. Firing on forts, there's all kinds of things. But the two primary issues for the Civil War, one, slavery, because that's why the Democrats left the Union, and President Lincoln said states do not have the right to leave the Union. They called them secessionists, okay? So at the time, the root cause of the war was publicly said, secession is illegal. States do not have a right to leave the Union. So what is she talking about? See, this is what happens when you're raised by foreigners, not in an American household, and you don't know the basics of American history. How can you be a Republican? The party of Lincoln was the first Republican president. How can you be a member of the party of Lincoln, want to be the president of the United States with the party of Lincoln, and not know that states do not have a right to secede from the Union? She has a very basic talking point knowledge. I believe in states' rights. She doesn't even know what she's saying. Is Nikki Haley, a lot of questions, is she really a Republican? And no, do you know that Nikki Haley's campaign is working with people that are from Mayor Pete's campaign to rally Democrats to vote for her in South Carolina? That's right. So there certainly is a question on whether, she's a Democrat. She is a Democrat. We've had 3 states, Iowa, New Hampshire, and now South Carolina. In each of those 3 states, Nikki Haley has worked with Democrats. She's lost both times. She'll lose a third. But we're getting to another question now is she an American in her heart and mind? All right, let's take our last break of the first hour. Our number, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Nikki Haley, oh boy. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Back after this.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on
She's an idiot.
Steve Kane Show.
She is a complete idiot, Nikki Haley. All right? There's no getting around it. I mean, what is she doing working with Buttigieg's campaign workers in South Carolina? And why is that not all over the news? Schism B, you're coming on the cruise?
Dr. Appleton is a chiropractic physician, and with the latest
Yeah, I mean, working with Democrats like she's doing. I've never known a Republican to openly work with Democrat campaigns and such like she's doing now. Cheryl's on the cruise. Yeah, I can't wait either, Cheryl. Now, I will be live streaming. You know, on the cruise, we have Elon Musk's Starlink internet on the cruise, and I have the high-speed Starlink internet that I will have on the cruise. So I will live stream and upload videos and things from the cruise. Maybe I'll live stream from my cabins early in the morning. Yeah, I had Starlink on the last one. It's very good. Well, if I live stream in the morning, most people are asleep. I'll have all the internet to myself. So the fewer people that are up, the better the internet connection is on a cruise ship for streaming. Yeah, I used Starlink on the last cruise. I was blown away at how fast it was. It's amazing.
Hormone optimization therapy is precise, easy, and effective from day one. Office visits are usually less than 5
The official cause of the Civil War was secession.
Let our medical team get you optimized and living your best life. Our family medical practice has been serving South Florida for over 71 years. Let us show you what personalized medical care.
No, there's no shuffleboard. They don't do shuffleboard on our cruise. They do shuffleboard like on the Princess Cruise Line, you know.
Or visit us at lighthousemedicalcenter.com to schedule your consultation today.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on.
All right, and you know, Friendly Tire in Margate is open on Saturdays, guys. You know, Friendly Tire in Margate do something that tire shops don't do: repairs. I did not know this. A couple years back, I was in Orlando with my daughter. We drove up for Halloween Horror Nights in her car, and we ran over a nail or something in the parking lot at Universal Studios Orlando. I filled the tire up with air. I got up on, I don't remember if it was Saturday or Sunday morning, but I got up in the morning. There was a little bit of air in the tire. So I got up early because I didn't want to wake up with a flat. And so I went to a gas station, filled it up with air. This was in Orlando. I went to 3 tire shops. They said, we don't do repairs. We just sell new tires. And I'm not going to pay their inflated cost for tires. So I'm like, well, I'm going to wait till Friendly Tires. So I filled it up with air. And there's a rest stop on the Florida Turnpike about every 30 miles. Sometimes it's 40 miles. Sometimes it's 25 miles. But every 30 miles or so, there's a rest stop. And so we drove back from Orlando, and we stopped at every rest stop and filled the tire up with air until I got to Friendly Tire in Margate on Monday and got it repaired. He does repairs, and that's a good thing, I tell you, because sometimes you just need a repair. You've run over a nail, right? So listen, he has great prices on new tires and used tires. You hear me talk about that a lot. But give Friendly Mike a call. I'm going to give you his number. Now, remember, if you're calling for tires, both new or used, okay, both new or used, the price he quotes you over the phone is out the door and on the road, because Friendly Tire does not charge you to balance the tire, mount the tire, or dispose of your old tires, okay? His number, 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Make sure you tell Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire you heard about him on the Steve Kane Show. He'll take extra good care of you. Okay, so Nikki Haley thinks that states have a right to leave the union, which they don't. And then she, remember she was talking, I only have one more clip of her. Remember she had said recently that she couldn't be in the beauty pageant when she was a little girl because she's not white, she's not black. and they wouldn't let her in. Well, give me a break. But Charlemagne the God got the story out of her. She embellished on the story. See, this is the problem with liars, okay? And this is why I want E. Jean Carroll to do 10,000 interviews, okay? When people tell lies, they run into two problems when they're doing interviews and such. One, people forget their lies, right? People forget lies. And second, the more interviews they do when they're telling lies, they embellish on the story so they have something to say. And they make it worse when they do that. So Nikki Haley, she's on with Charlemagne the God. She made herself look stupid, thinking states can secede from the Union. Can you imagine what that would be like? But now she gives details on her totally BS story about not being allowed in the beauty pageant because she's not white or black. Let me play this for you. And I'll ask you guys, do you believe Nikki Haley? I know women are to be believed, but do you believe Nikki Haley, or is she a liar? 1-888-465-2631. Here she is telling Charlemagne the God the BS beauty pageant story with some details we have not heard before.
There was a We Miss Bamberg pageant that everybody would put their children in. It was the big thing in Bamberg. You always put your kids in. So my mom decided to put me and my sister in this pageant. And I was disqualified because they had a black queen and they had a white queen. And they said they didn't know where to put me because if I was in the black category, the blacks would be mad. If I was in the white category, the whites would be mad. So they gave me a beach ball and sent me on my way.
A beach ball?
Yeah, I know, that's all I got, right? Only after my mom said, will you at least let her sing her song? You're never going to believe it. My song was, this land is your land, this land is my land. I mean, it doesn't get any worse than that.
Okay, so she tells the lie in detail, and which we've never heard. I never heard the whole story before. And then she adds, so they can you imagine, I'm sorry, ma'am, your daughter cannot be in the beauty pageant. We have one white queen, we have one black queen, we have no in-between queens, so if you're Asian or Hispanic or Native American, Indian, and all that stuff, nobody buys that BS, okay? This is not the 50s in South Carolina. This is the 70s or 80s. But then because she's embellishing this lie, she ends it with this song that is ridiculous.
My mom said, will you at least let her sing her song? You're never going to believe it. My song was, this land is your land, this land is my land. I mean, it doesn't get any worse.
Of course, of all the songs, she just happened to sing, this land is your land, this land is my land. Come on. Now, we got some information. I'm going to send this to Loomer. She probably knows because she knows, what am I going to know before Laura Loomer? But I want to share this with Loomer because Nikki Haley gave a name that I can't quite make out in the beginning, but maybe Loomer can track it down and do some research. She gives the name of the pageant, right, in the beginning?
There was a We Miss Bamberg pageant.
We Miss Bamberg? Is that what she said? Oh, I would love Loomer to track down the Miss Bamberg pageant from 19 whatever year it was with lying Nikki Haley and expose this lie. Oh, this would be beautiful. All right, guys, let's go to the phone. Our number 1-888-GO-CANE1. What a great day today. Isn't today a great day? I feel energized. The January 6th case against President Trump in D.C. is evaporated. It's gone off the court docket. Nikki Haley's showing her stupidity and lying. This is a great day. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. You're on the air.
I'm from Alabama.
Are you sure? You sure about that? There was hesitation, yes. Where are you from?
I'm from Alabama. My name is Brian. I'm trying to get my advice.
All right. Could you take the phone out of your mouth? I'm having a hard time understanding you. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a little better.
Okay. Well, it's about time. This has been going on for,
What's been going on? You said this is...
See...
Oh.
God,
Oh, yeah.
look at the taxpayer dollars that's just been threw away just because of this mess. Why ain't we taking better care of our military with that money instead of
yeah.
What?
Well, because Democrats in the Uniparty hate the American people. They hate us.
And then I heard, and I hate Fox about as much as you do, but I turned over last night and they were talking about, why don't you drop out of the race, you're spending all this money, could this not go towards the military and the veterans? And the only thing she could say was, well, did you know my husband's a veteran? What if she has to do it?
Well, I mean, you see what's going on when you hear the people that are running the government today talk. All they talk about is how they're going to help other people, Ukrainian people, Mexican people, Venezuelan people. You never hear them talk about helping the American people.
No, they always, they're letting all these people.
That's right. Well, I appreciate the call. This hour of the morning, is Alabama in Central Time? I think they're in Central Time. I'm sure they are because the Panhandle of Florida is in Central. Florida's in 2 time zones, Panhandle and Central. The time that we're on the air, there's a crossover period. There's a crossover period around 5 to 6 o'clock in the morning. And at 5 and 6 o'clock in the morning is when the night actually becomes the day. And there's a crossover crowd. I see this on the road sometimes. You probably do too, Mike. The 5 a.m. bars close. And the roads around 5 to 5:30 in the morning are filled with people rushing to get to work like me and Mike. Or people coming home drunk from the 5 a.m. bars. And those are the hardcore drugs. Because they already closed down the 2 a.m. bar and went to the 5 a.m. bar. So, they're an hour behind us. It's coming up on 6 a.m. in Alabama, where the guy called from. So, sometimes the alcohol's still in the system and they have not detoxed yet. A little bit like me on the cruise. Our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1. It is open phones, of course. Since it is Friday, Open Maga Mike Friday, you're welcome to call in about any and everything you have on your mind. On Friday's show, you are not limited to the topics that I bring up. I'm going to continue throughout the entire day celebrating the January 6th D.C. case that Jack Smith had before chunking against the greatest president ever, Donald Trump, has been postponed indefinitely. This is pretty much a dismissal of the J6 case. It's a historic day. Now, of course, I'm the only one in media that's presenting it that way because the media are depressed. If I see them show those illegals giving the middle finger again on TV when they got all this other news that I'd like to hear them say, although the illegals with the middle fingers, the one thing I like about this story that I haven't heard anybody on TV point out is the illegals with the middle finger. I mean, think about what those guys did. They arrested 5. I thought they arrested 7, 5 or 7. They attacked, they beat and mugged 2 New York City police officers. Now, we have so many retired NYPD here in Florida, and they all scare the daylights out of me. I don't see any of the retired NYPD here in Florida getting rolled like these 2 guys did. But they beat up 2 New York cops, mugged them, and then they're out with no bail, and they're like giving the middle finger? Like, what's that? That's crazy. But what you know what that incident shows? Trump was right. Again, they're not sending us their best. They're sending criminals, in this case, violent criminal gangs. Trump was right. Shut down the border, all right? The immigration system is not broken. You just got to use it. All right, we're going to take our break for the top of the hour. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 47 years on the radio. My name is Brian Craig. Our number toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. A toll-free call no matter where you are listening. We'll take our top of the hour break and be right back.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3.
Oh. Unreal. All right. My wife is texting me. How many days are in this February? Is it 28? No, there's 29 days in February. Okay. Is this does that mean it's a leap year? Is this a leap year? There's February 29th on my calendar. Wow. It's a leap year. President Trump's going to win re-election, and it's the historic leap year re-election of President Trump. How do you like that? The historic leap year election of President Trump for his second and non-consecutive term. And that's awesome, because that means he gets 16 years, right? We count each year, every 4 years as 1 year in leap years, right? Only if it was on the 29th. But that would be good. Oh, man.
When did you first feel safe?
What a great day.
A parent, a brother or sister? It's always someone, a person. The people at Sloman's know that you feel safest at home when your home security is set up by people. People who listen. People who understand you. People who will be there when you need them. Give us a call at 1-800-283-5050.
If you're new, make sure you subscribe. All right, and everyone, please like the video. There's over 1,200 in the live stream right now. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe and like the video, guys. That helps grow the channel as well. So if all over 1,200 of you were to like the video, it would help the video get recommended to people that have not yet found this great community we have here on my channel. I'm glad I got this new wireless mic, the DJI mic. It works very, very well. I like it much better. I have the wired one still here for backup. Oh, man. How exciting. Oh. Yeah, it's a good one. It's got a wind cover on it for like when I do vlogging. Like next Friday after the show, I'm taking a tour of our cruise ship. I'm going to make a vlog of the cruise ship. An executive from the cruise line takes us through the ship, so we can go through all the spots that we're doing our activities and make sure we like everything and want it there. And I'm going to make a vlog showing you guys where we're going to be doing all our stuff. I hope you'd want to see that vlog because I'm going to upload it here on the channel. So I'll have this with the windscreen. Oh, what a day. Just a great day. If you're on hold, hang in there. The phones, they are a-ringing. Oh, could you imagine when that judge had to sign off on when Judge Chunkin had to sign off on postponing President Trump's case indefinitely, what that must have been like? Celebrity Cruise Line we go on. Celebrity Cruise Line is a luxury cruise line. Hardly any kids on board. I think there were maybe 3 or 4 kids on the last cruise, ship-wide. It's nice. And it's very upscale. Oh, man, what a great day. If you're just tuning in, the January 6th Judge Chunkin case against the greatest president ever, Donald Trump, has been postponed indefinitely, which is the equivalent of a dismissal, and we are celebrating. All right, let's go back to our phones, and again, of course, it is Open Phones every Friday here on the program, Open MAGA Mike Friday, and on Open MAGA Mike Friday, you're welcome to call in about any and everything on your mind. You're not limited to what I bring up, all right? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? No, one phone call a day, especially if you're drinking. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Morning, Jim in Cincinnati.
All right, Jim. How's it going?
Yeah, want to say, one, I really appreciate your show. I've watched it since you had the Trump banner hanging behind.
Cool.
16?
Mm-hmm.
And you've always been a really good inspiration. As far as this period of election, you have helped keep people together.
Oh, thank you.
You know that. There's a lot of positivity that comes out of only a few places. Yours is one.
Thank you.
And I look at it, I start my day with it. No offense to anybody who has a problem and argues with you. It's not about them. It's about the positivity you bring. Number two is every leap year is an election year.
I didn't know that. This was a Jerry, I just get people up to speed. During the breaks, those of you on the radio, during the breaks, sometimes I'll talk to our chat and the YouTube live, and I realize this is a leap year. There's 29 months in this Black History Month, making this a leap year. But you're saying every 4 years of the presidential election is a leap year? I never noticed.
So
I've never noticed.
Well, every leap year is the fourth year.
Yeah.
Election happens every fourth year.
Well, I think what we should do, since this, I want to try to, we can dub this the historic leap year re-election of President Trump. And even though the election's in November, not on February 29th, let's give him 6 more years and count every 4 years as 1 year, since it's the great leap year re-election of President Trump. Then we got 16 more years of the greatest president ever. I like that idea.
Well, that's on lock, especially if you go on the fact that he deserves it.
Mm-hmm.
So he has proven his need. We need him.
Oh, yeah.
Last but not least, everybody needs to pray for the people down in Texas, standing up for what we all, listening to you, believe in. And if they get a minute during the day after your show, take a look in on what they're doing down there. There's a lot of big people. They're doing a lot of big things. And
I'm glad you brought up Texas, because it reminded me of something. This morning on my way in, I was thinking about Texas because I heard something in the news, and I was thinking there's a whole section of Texas that is really, it's no longer part of the United States. It's no man's land. And no man's land is what, was an area in the Second World War during the trench warfare between the two sides. And it's an area of the country that's incredibly dangerous. It's not controlled by us. And Joe Biden is the first president in the history of the presidency to reduce the size of the country. Because whatever sections the cartels have overrun down there in Texas, that's no longer under U.S. control.
Well, you're reducing the size of a constitutional republic by destroying the Constitution. So every state reduced to some degree. You guys are a border state, but up here in Ohio, I'm here to tell you we're a border state at this point.
Yep.
No matter how it looks.
That's right.
We're tolerating the same problems other people are because of immigration issues. But hey, all in all, I'll get off and let people talk.
All right. I love my Ohio calls, since I am from Ohio originally, and I love my calls from Ohio. And Cincinnati, of course, do any of you guys ever watch WKRP in Cincinnati? WKRP in Cincinnati, I watched it when I was a kid, when I was a little kid. I love that show. And I actually bought the entire series and have it on iTunes or whatever you call it these days. WKRP in Cincinnati is a documentary of what the radio business is like at radio stations, small local radio stations. I'm telling you. So if you've ever watched WKRP in Cincinnati, it's a funny show and a great show, but it's also really a documentary. Of course, the best episode of WKRP is the Thanksgiving turkey episode. If you've ever seen that episode, I'm not going to spoil it. Look it up, watch it online, and you'll see what I mean. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. My name, I'm the year 1970. Calling from Texas.
Hey, Texas.
And, yes, and I wanted to ask you, last night I was watching Don Jr. Triggered podcast. And he had mentioned that Ted Nugent would possibly be Donald Trump's press secretary, and he also mentioned that Rick Grinnell would possibly be his Secretary of State.
Well, Rick, okay, now Ted Nugent, I think Don Jr. was joking about Ted Nugent, because Ted Nugent's been doing events lately, and he's very funny. We've had him on the show before, and he's super cool and everything else. But who did he say was going to be Secretary of State?
Rick Grinnell.
Rick, let me tell you, Rick Grinnell, when that botched Afghanistan withdrawal of the senile au coup Joe Biden was going on, I was watching Grinnell on television. He was on with Glenn Beck a lot doing analysis. He is the smartest man that I've ever heard talk about foreign policy and such. I mean, I know they like to say Kissinger is great. Kissinger opened up China, which has done damage to the planet that can't be repaired, and he was Secretary of State during the Vietnam War. But Grinnell is, when it comes to world affairs and foreign policy and U.S. policy, is the smartest person I've ever heard speak. It's not just that he's brilliant. You can understand what he's saying. It makes sense. It's not cerebral. And I mean, Rick Grinnell would be the perfect Secretary of State for President Trump's second term. No doubt about it.
Yeah. And he also had Kristi Noem and Sarah Huckabee Sanders. That they kind of like had it was called a shot show in I guess Las Vegas, Nevada, and like a gun show kind of thing. So he had interviewed them, and I just thought it was really, really nice.
You know, Don Jr. is this is an amazing thing with Don Jr. And this is true of Eric too, but I've encountered in person Don Jr. more times than Eric. Although I once saw Eric Trump at a red light up on Southern Boulevard, just sitting there at a red light in his car. I was like in shock. I was walking down the sidewalk. I was like, oh my goodness, you know. But Don Jr. is so normal and down to earth, which is an amazing thing when you're born a billionaire, right? You're world famous. Your dad was president. And I saw him, the last time I saw Don Jr. in person, and this really impressed me a lot, it was at the Turning Point USA. And I was walking to my car in the parking garage here in Palm Beach, and Don Jr. was walking to his car. And he was by himself. He was in his own car. My vlog at Turning Point USA, you can see some of this, okay? He was all by himself, and I was going to go up and talk to him because nobody recognized him because he had no entourage, or he wasn't like Hunter going around with addicts and stuff and an entourage, and then people started recognizing him and made a mob. And he had the door open to his car. He was getting into his car. People recognized him. He took a selfie with every single person that asked for one. Every single person. And I was so impressed by that. He didn't get in his car. Okay, I gotta go. And I was so and he was having conversations with them and asking them about themselves. It was very impressive. I was very impressed by him. Yeah, and he drove himself. Yeah, he is just Eric Trump too. I've not been in the presence of Ivanka or Tiffany or Barron, but you know, when people's children are a reflection of them, and your children are you, just younger. I see it in my daughter all the time. Now, you know, my daughter's turning 25 next month, and she was just here. And now that she's like a grown woman, I see a lot of her habits and mannerisms and personality that come from me and her mother. When you see the children of President Trump, you see very normal, down-to-earth, accomplished people. Look at Biden's children. They're both junkies, okay? They're both junkies. And there's a video you can find online of Biden's daughter, Ashley, calling up Project Veritas for the diary, threatening to have the Secret Service come to them and everything. She is a nasty girl. And we know what Hunter's all about. And you look at the Trump children, and if anybody in this audience, if you ran into either any of the Trump children, you could sit down and have a conversation and a beer with them like your neighbor. And you wouldn't, as famous and as... When people have unlimited wealth and fame, very often they lead degenerate lives like Biden's junkie kids. And I think that how well President Trump's children have turned out is like one of the best endorsements for him that you could make.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I appreciate the call. Thank you. All right. We'll take our break and be back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now.
Oh.
This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right. Oh man, welcome. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, guys. Oh, just what a wonderful day. Just an exciting day. Okay, where am I going next? Oh, yes. Oh, man. I think most of you probably agree with what I said about your children are a reflection of you.
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
My husband and I received our My Pillow 2.0 that we ordered with Jane the other day to buy one get one free, and they're our first My Pillows. We love them. We absolutely love them. They're just absolutely marvelous. Yeah, I'm so glad. I got slippers on the way too.
Go to mypillow.com and use our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, and buy your My Pillow 2.0. Right now, buy one, get one free. You can also order by phone, toll free, 800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE.
You can make 2024 the year of more ocean views and quality time with your cruise with Margaritaville at Sea's new buy one, get three promotion. Now, for a limited time, you can bring up to 3 guests for free when you buy just 1 guest fare. Bring your friends, family, or kids along for free on fun-soaked getaways to the Bahamas aboard the Margaritaville at Sea Paradise, or adventure together with your best mates in Mexico and Key West this summer aboard the all-new Islander. Don't miss out on a sail like no other. Go to margaritavillatsea.com and
We'll be back shortly. 28 seconds. We'll be back.
Hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. I want to talk about the retirement expert of True Oldies here, Jupiter Joe Thomas. And, you know, of course you want to call him and talk to him about annuities. They're absolutely amazing. You know, I talk to Joe Thomas about a couple things all the time, every time I talk to him. One, I tell him I don't have one penny in the stock market. I used to when I was younger. That is gambling, high risk gambling to me. Okay, I know maybe you like the stock. I don't. To me, it's gambling. I don't like to take risks with my money. I work too hard for the money I have. With annuities, you're not risking your money. Your money is safe. You're not going to lose money like you do in the stock market. And of course, you generate income when you retire, which is great. You can add to your Social Security, you can add to your whatever you got. You've got another revenue stream coming in from the annuity, and that's a great thing. And we talk about that a lot with Joe Thomas. The other thing I talked to him about is, you know, if you have a 401k with your former employer, this is something Joe Thomas told me, which just blew my mind. A lot of people, they'll get fired from a job or they'll leave a job they hate. They got a 401k, and they keep the money in that 401k. You know, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. You can put that money in an annuity with Joe Thomas. But did you know that your former employee, you know, the one that fired you, you got your 401k over there? Do you know they're making money off of your money? They get fees and things. I had no idea. And then one third thing that I talk to very often with Joe Thomas about, because this is a big one with me, because I know people like this. I know people that are losing money with financial advisors, and they're losing money for years, and they never leave the financial advisor because they don't want the confrontation. Breaking up's hard to do, right? They don't want the confrontation, and they'll lose money for years. If you call Joe Thomas, get your free phone consultation, get the free copy of his book, The Retirement Know-It-All, but Joe Thomas can transfer your money without you having to make the call from your 401k, from your employer, your ex-employer, to an annuity. He can transfer your money from your financial advisor to an annuity. He'll handle all that for you, too, which, if you lose some money with a financial advisor, you should do that. I know it's tough because you call them and they make it difficult and they try to sell you. Avoid all that. Stop losing money. Call Joe Thomas. Here's his number, 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. If you missed that number, just go to jupiterjoe.com, and he can help you no matter where you're located in America. You can, no matter where you are in the United States, Jupiter Joe Thomas still offering you that free phone consultation and free copy of his book. All right? Let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Doug.
Hey, Doug.
You just mentioned earlier that America likes to take care of everybody but Americans. Man, this is really disturbing. I happened to go down Blunt Road, past the homeless center where everybody's standing out.
What road? What road? What road?
Blunt.
Where's that at? Where's that at?
That's where the prison is, the Broward County Prison.
Oh my goodness, the Broward County Stockade. You mean like that's Hammondville? I know what you're talking about. You know, when Coconut Creek Parkway turns into Hammondville. What are you doing over at the Broward County Stockade?
I was heading down to Samples Road, and I just went down that way.
Don't take that way. That's where all that's where all the strip clubs are, right? The jail and the strip clubs.
Yeah, there's two strip clubs. Yeah, you're right.
There's two strip clubs. Which one's your favorite?
I don't go.
Okay. I thought I was going to catch him. I thought I was going to catch you, Doug.
No. Anyway, long story short, you pass that road, then you go over Copans.
Yes.
There's a wood there, and now people were living in there, and now all of a sudden there's all these homemade huts that they're living in. I can't believe the police are letting them stay there, but this is what so now Americans have to go live in the damn woods with no water and no nothing, and the illegals get into Waldorf Astoria.
You know, I remember when, I don't know if it's still this, in front of the Broward County Library in downtown Fort Lauderdale, off of Broward Boulevard, I drove down there once with my daughter when she was young, so this was years ago, and it was a nice day. We had the windows down, and when we drove by, you not only could you smell, you could taste the odor of the homeless people. They used to have those homeless encampments down there, you know. And, you know, I feel bad for homeless people, and things are tough. Most of the homeless people really suffer from mental illness or have warrants, you know, and they can't, or they have convictions and they, you know, and things like this. But Steve and I, we used to have a show on cable access television for 10 years, and we did a show on the homeless. I've got all these shows on videotapes in my garage, and we went under bridges and interviewed homeless people. Steve had a pistol with him because we were a little nervous. And I mean, it was, and every single person we met was either mentally ill or just an addict. And we went all over town interviewing the homeless for that show. There was one guy at the end. Everyone that would do an interview with us, we would give them $5. Okay. And this one guy we interviewed, some of you will know this. You know, on Broward Boulevard, just east of 95, they had Talent Liquors across from the police station. You know, Talent Liquors? It's a liquor. It's been there forever. Revenge of the Nerds 2 went to Talent Liquors. We interviewed this homeless guy in front of the liquor store on Broward Bowl at Talent Liquors. We gave him $5, and the camera was still rolling. He took, after the interview, he said he liked being homeless because he liked a loaf. He didn't like it. He walks to the liquor store, staggering side to side, and then he goes up to the window and holds up the $5 bill, and then they let him in. I mean, it was really sad. It was really sad. It was, oh my goodness. But you know, Broward County is a very liberal county run by liberal Democrats, and they have a thing for homeless people.
Well, you know, if they have a thing for homeless people, they don't want to, I guess, put them in tents or something to help them. They just want to let them sit in the damn, out in the wilderness. This is really sickening that, you know, they can't help anybody anymore.
So there's an area in Broward County that is a homeless encampment in the woods.
You go up Copeland's Road on the Blunt Road, right where the Marble of the World is. Make a right, and right there. And I was going to film it and send it into the media, but
yeah, you should do that. You should do that. Well, I might go make a YouTube video of this. That's what I'm trying to get. So you take Copeland's Road east of the Turnpike.
I would say from 95, take Copeland's Road, past Power Line, going west. As soon as you come to Blunt Road, you make a right, and it's right there.
Okay, if I get a chance, I might go by and make a YouTube if it's safe in the middle of the day, of course.
There's the buses over there and the Marble of the World. But
okay.
It was really sickening. The other thing I wanted to say quickly is I just read a thing on YouTube that Taylor Swift has like 600 million followers, and if she endorses anybody, it's going to really sway the election.
Not going to sway anyone. I talked to Richie about this the other day. Think about your entire life. Okay, when you were young, when you were in your 20s, who were the big celebrities you liked?
Eagles,
the Eagles and the Stones. Okay, well, forget about the Stones because they're not American, but the Eagles. Now, I would tend to believe that the Eagles were liberal.
I don't know.
You know, I mean, what celebrity would influence your vote? Could you ever? I mean, you know, listen, I am a huge fan of Star Wars. I mean, really big. And I got to meet and interview Mark Hamill once. And it was like one of the greatest moments of my life. He is a Trump-hating liberal jerk like no one else. Okay? And there's nothing Mark Hamill could say that would get me to do what he wants to do, which is vote for Democrats. As much as I grew up with him since I was 6 years old, right? You know, celebrities have no juice. Even Sinatra and the Rat Pack with Kennedy. They no juice. Celebrities have no juice. No one cares. Celebrities are stupid people.
Well, certainly anybody who goes against President Trump is stupid people, in my opinion. But, you know, this Taylor Swift has influence.
Oh, my goodness. Taylor Swift. Every time her name is mentioned, I can hear people turning the radio off. Stop saying that name, all right? All right, take it. All right, we'll take our break for the bottom of the hour and come back with much more.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're going to really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show.
Yeah, Linda Carter. Screw that. Yeah. Yeah. No one, no celebrity has ever swayed an election. Even Sinatra with Kennedy. Complete BS. Complete BS.
Maybe stop liking celebrities when they were saying go buy their motors and any of them.
Yeah.
So maybe stop actually it's like, oh gosh, that's what who they are?
Exactly.
Also, did you see that John, the Kennedy TikTok liked
yes. Yeah. He said it wasn't him. Yeah, right.
2022.
Yeah. He's a big perv, Robert Kennedy Jr.
Yeah, that's definitely him.
Yeah. Yeah, Oprah Winfrey, exactly. None of them have any juice. They think they do, celebrities, but they don't. They have no juice. I mean, think about it. When has a celebrity influenced your decision when it comes to voting for someone? Never. Never.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Check out the big game party February 11th in the Paddock Restaurant at PBKC with a delicious $30 all-you-can-eat buffet.
All right, where are we? If you're new, make sure you subscribe, guys. You'll love this channel, I promise you. This is where MAGA comes to talk, people. Of course, we're celebrating. We're on our break for the bottom of the hour. We're celebrating the D.C. case being tossed out against President Trump. No, I didn't ask for, like, conservative. John Wayne didn't influence. John Wayne was in favor. I mean, I like John Wayne. Don't get me wrong. And if you've ever seen that interview of him on his boat, it's a great interview when he's talking about politics. But John Wayne was in favor of U.S. involvement in Vietnam. That's why John Wayne made the Green Berets. He didn't influence anyone. You know, the celebrities speak to the choir. You know, they might be good for fundraising. No, I love John Wayne. Stagecoach is an awesome movie. Mm-hmm. Oh, man. What a beautiful day. Oh, I got to test something on the phones. I got to try something new on the phones. Okay. Okay. Oh. Be right back. Hold on. You know, I wanted to, because of that. Oh, where are you? Oh, okay. You know, because of that connection problem we've had with Steve when he hears the delay, it goes away when I turn the OL off on the commercial pot, right, for the spots.
Yeah.
And you were saying you can't hear it, the callers can't hear it, the commercial's on hold?
Yeah, if you turn it off on the...
So that they can. I just turned it off and put myself on hold and could hear, so they can hear the rejoin. So people, so the callers can, that's why you want them to hear the break so they can hear the rejoin.
It's weird,
I just tried it. Try it on your phone. Yeah. Just, you can call the number, put yourself on hold, and then, but I just did it. It's off now. Maybe it used to be that way and they made a change. But that's why he's getting the delay. Because every time I turn off the OL, his delay disappears. Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Yeah. So that might solve that problem.
Yeah, see what's going on?
He's not going to be on today.
Oh, okay.
But next time he's on, we'll find out. Yeah.
So, okay. I guess, yeah, like you said, with the new engineer, I mean, everything he did, it's always sounded confusing.
Yeah.
Ooh, this and that, we don't have that anymore. So,
Yeah.
I mean, he probably did do that, man.
Yeah. All right. All right. See, we're doing some technical stuff. So you got a little behind the scenes. All right. All right. We are back in 37 seconds, guys. Yeah, Eastwood's great, but has he swayed an election? No, it's not the two mics. All right, we are back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Call us on hold, stand by. 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, hey, Richie.
Yeah, good morning. It's Richie. I sort of cracked up when Doug called and you started talking about your old tapes with the Under the Bridge.
Oh, yeah.
But I consider myself an expert on this field, believe it or not. That one of the big interviews you guys had was a very thin girl with no teeth under that bridge.
Patty, yeah.
Yeah. I used to take her. She lived in a chicken coop out on State Road 84 with her boyfriend, who was another skinny guy. He would put her out there, and she would go out there every morning on the I believe it was the 84 bus or 83. They cut the bus out, and they started putting a little minivan out there.
Mm-hmm.
It was.
Well, there's on this homeless show that we did, which is one of our best shows we did on cable access television. I've got all these shows. I've kept them all. There's over 100 of them, and no, they're not. There's only one. No, they're not. There's only one of them online, and it's on. It's not even. It's not on. It's too hot for YouTube. It's when we went to the Dominatrix Sex Club, and we interviewed the judge that was being tortured by the two sexy ladies. But there was the one you're talking about. There was this homeless lady who was really a landmark for many years. She was on University Drive and 595 for years, and she had a sign, "Homeless, hungry, small children at home, please help," for years. So when we interviewed her, Steve asked her about her kids, and she says, "What kids?" He's like, "The ones on your sign." And she says, "Well, I don't have any kids. I just say that on the sign." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Built the Broward County, for people who don't realize it, Broward County built the shelter. Okay, I believe, I'm trying to think exactly where it was. It was like, I think, on Sunrise Boulevard.
All right, I don't want to get it. I know it's open phones, but yeah, we've done enough about the homeless. Got anything else before I move on?
I'm happy they're dropping all these cases on President Trump.
Oh.
And they're dropping all these cases on President Trump is because before the cases started, these corrupt people got together and they know what. They must have gone to a party together, the judge, the lawyers, the people that have accused President Trump. This is so...
Well, let me recap the story that you're referencing, okay? And this was the story I led with at 6 a.m. And this is a massive story, and I don't know if it's being... I guarantee you it will not be presented as I'm presenting it on any of the mainstream media. But Judge Chunkin, this is the Jack Smith J6 case against Trump in D.C. This is the big kahuna of all of them, the insurrection case to keep him off the ballot in November. The trial was scheduled to start in March, right before Super Tuesday, and Judge Chunkin has removed the Trump trial from her calendar indefinitely, which is pretty much a dismissal. And the decision makers that went into, Obama signed off on that. He was in on it, and some other, and as well as Garland and who knows who else. But that is a major legal victory for President Trump.
Well, I happen to think that this last case with Fannie Willis and now this Bush, okay, they're starting to realize that President Trump's people, which are us and Laura Loomer and other people, are digging deep into the relationships they have with each other, and I think they don't want to be exposed because they're all corrupted.
Well, a lot of it, that's part of it. I think some of it too is that President Trump's return to the White House is inevitable. I mean, his popularity is amazing. The unpopularity of the uniparty Democrats is insanely low. And a lot of them are scared of going to prison. I mean, look what happened to Fannie very well could end up with her own mugshot at the Fulton County Jail.
Yeah, can you do me one favor about your actually dozed? You started to talk about Nikki Haley's craziness, her worse. Could you repeat what she did, please?
Let me get this straight. You were listening to me on the radio about an hour ago. While listening to me, you fell asleep.
The reason is I have back problem. I can sleep all night. I dozed. I don't know how I did it, but I missed Nicky Ellis.
Oh, you missed him.
Clock for you.
Oh, okay. Oh, you overslept. Oh, did you? You didn't fall asleep while I was talking.
No.
Oh, okay. I'll do that again in a little bit. Not right now, but I'll do it again in a little bit because just for you, Richie. Just for you, we'll do it. But I want to, because okay. I just wanted to clarify. He did not fall asleep while listening to me. He just woke up late. All right. Let me. By the way, for your back trouble, Richie, go see Dr. Appleton. He could help you. Obviously, he's taken the pills. Okay, now, this clip I'm going to play now, I want to apologize to the audience in advance. But this is a good one. This is a clip from The View, okay? This is a clip from The View. And it's Sunny Hostin, and I don't know who the girl is, the fake Republican. But Sunny Hostin, who is almost as white as I am, okay? She is obsessed with race, and she tells a story about one of her sons. I'm just going to play this uninterrupted, and then I'll go back and we'll break it down. So this is the Coven of the View yesterday, and I'll just play it uninterrupted, then we'll go back.
Racist people in this country. And there are absolutely racist country. It is not the vast majority of people in this country, and I feel like
what the FBI director said, white supremacy is the biggest threat to our country today.
Well, that still doesn't mean that that's the vast majority of people are. I just don't believe that in my day-to-day life that the people that you're encountering harbor racist viewpoints. I do think that this division that we're creating,
like me, you would believe different.
But you know what? Listen,
Okay, now this first part's not the main reason I'm playing this. If you look like me, you'd feel differently. Oh, the applause line goes on. Sunny Hostin is barely black, okay? She's very pale. She's a multi-millionaireess. She works 4 days a week, and she's good looking. She's got no problem. She's got everything going on, okay? And they're talking. This premise that that white people are all racist is what they're talking about. They're sitting around racially stereotyping white people and calling them racist. But she's going to drop something in a moment here.
Do we think the vast majority of Americans are racist? That's what I'm trying to. I hope we understand.
Think that there is a significant portion that are racist, and you can't dismiss my lived experience.
I never would say. I would never.
When I say that there are a lot of racists in this country, I just experienced my son walking down the beach being called the N-word several times in Florida.
Okay. Now, Sunny Hostin just said that her son was just called the N-word walking down the street in Florida. Now, first off, I don't believe that story. If someone yells the N-word out in public, and he was probably in Miami Beach, South Beach, okay, which there's hardly any white people there. If someone shouts the N-word out publicly on the streets like that, all heads turn and all you-know-what breaks loose. There is no way I believe that story unless he was called the N-word by one of his black friends, okay? Because that's possible. But the idea that, and her boys, according to her, are huge guys. They're big, like football players. So, is there anyone out there who believes that Sunny Hostin of The View is telling the truth, that her son was walking down the street in Florida and someone yelled the N-word at him and he didn't do something about it? Or someone else didn't do something about it? There wasn't a confrontation? Are you kidding me? And if you confronted her with that, even if she knew to herself and admitted to you that the whole story was made up, she would, if she were forced to admit that the story was a lie, there's no way that happened. No way that happened, unless it was one of his black friends calling him the N-word. That's possible, but not a non-black guy called him an N. No way. If you got her to admit that the story was bogus and totally made up, she wouldn't do it. But if she did, she would say this: well, it didn't happen, but it's a composite of what happens every day, so it's like it really happened. This show, The View, is the most poisonous programming in the history of the United States. In fact, The View, some of you may not get this reference. During the break, Google it, okay? But don't stop listening, but Google it. The View is the modern equivalent to Father Coughlin. Look up Father Coughlin, okay? And you'll get what we're talking about. Okay, we're going to take our last break of the second hour and be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve.
All right, and it's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Attorney Barry Siegel, good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
Great. What do you have for us this morning?
Well, yesterday we were talking about, it's Valentine's coming up this month in about less than 2 weeks. So it's time to start thinking about the people you care about and the people you want to show your love to. And one of the best ways to get started on the process of either getting an estate plan set up or updating your current estate plan, so to make sure that there are no messes left behind, to make sure your estate doesn't go through probate, you don't have to deal with guardianship, the right people get the assets, the wrong people are out, and you don't lose all your money during your lifetime because you didn't have the right language in it, because you didn't deal with not just an estate planning attorney, but also an elder law attorney. So one of the ways you can get started with that is to attend our free seminar. We just did one this week. We actually have one coming up next week on February the 6th. It'll be at 2 o'clock at our offices in Boca Raton. And so if you have been meaning to come to one of these workshops to get the education, to learn some of those nuances, things that you're not aware of, things that can make a big impact on protecting the assets that you've worked your whole life for, the things you've sacrificed for during your lifetime, and making sure that you set things up properly for yourself and your family, then I'd say it's a good idea to call us. If you can't make it on the 6th, call us and schedule for one of our upcoming seminars. We do them about every 2 weeks, and they're free. And when you attend, when you schedule your free review or free consultation at that workshop, you will get a discount certificate off of any estate planning fees. It could be $500 or even more depending on situation. So you can get significant discount, you can get education, and you can get started on something to help your family.
Now, is this workshop at your main office in Boca?
Main office in Boca Raton.
All right, guys. So call the Siegel Law Group, and I'm going to tell you, you want to, it's completely free, but you want to call ahead and reserve your spot, okay? Because they do fill up, especially since Attorney Barry Siegel is offering that discount. And when you call I'm going to give you the number. If you miss the number, you can always go to the website, SiegelLawGroup.com, and get the number there. But when you call, they'll give you all the specifics, including directions, okay? The toll-free number is 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel, we'll talk next week. Back after this.
Take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. The Steve Kane Show.
All right, we're back. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
How are you?
All right, Lewis, what's up?
You know, Sid, so you know she's a liar about that whole story, because in this day and age especially, and especially if you're someone's semi-famous kid, people whip their cell phone out and they chase the person around going, what did you call me? What did you call me?
Exactly. Total BS.
That would go viral, and it's total BS. And I'll just say, worth referencing, the only episode of The View ever worth watching is 20-plus years old when Norm Macdonald was on there, and they hated his guts because he kept breaking shoes about Clinton being a murderer and a rapist, and it's absolutely worth the watch on YouTube. But it's the only time I'd ever encourage anyone to spend 5 minutes on that sickening show. But
yeah.
It's funny what he did to them.
Well, and you know, there's like I say, the only way that someone called her son the N-word is if it was one of his black friends. That's possible.
You can't walk down. Yeah, you're not walking down the streets of the beach in South Florida and someone's just going to randomly and arbitrarily You know, you do it in South Florida, Miami, like you said. First of all, there's barely a white face around.
Especially South Beach.
Was around decided, and the one that was around decided to scream that word. Forget even getting videotaped. That person would have got the crap beat out of it.
That's right.
So it's just
it is irresponsible. You know, there's a thing about broadcasting. You've got to have some responsibility as a broadcaster. And one of the things that and if you guys have not looked up Father Conklin, you should, because The View is without question. He was a broadcaster, a priest years ago who was a racist anti-Semite. I mean, you know, a Margaret Sanger type, right? And it was some of the ugliest stuff ever broadcast. The View is without question the equivalent. When you're a professional broadcaster, as I am, you know, there are limitations on what you can say and do. One of them is incitement of violence. And when Sonny Hostin promotes lies like this, that's borderline incitement. And it's over the bounds of responsible broadcasting.
100%. It's not free speech when you want to try and stir up your side of the masses to hate the other side.
She's trying to call Sonny Hostin, who's barely black. I mean, look at her. Come on. This woman's never had a worry in her life. She's good. She's good looking. She's good looking. She's successful. She you know, and everything else. She's very wealthy, you know, and she's still a victim. But what she's trying to do is stir up racial hatred and racial violence with that comment.
Right, because she's trying to get herself down on the level of the minorities that actually don't grow up, that have even a tenth of what she's experienced in life. They're the ones that experience racism at a level that she's never tasted and her children will never taste, and yet she's on national television broadcasting hate and just spewing all the wrong things. I don't know why that show doesn't come off the air, but I'm going to celebrate that day maybe more than I celebrate President Trump's next victory.
That's right. All right. Appreciate the call from Fort Lauderdale. All right. Now, I must say, every call to the program today has been spectacular. Every single call. I mean, we've just had great calls on today's program. I want to play this. If you heard my podcast last night, a great podcast last night, which you should, by the way, never miss an episode of my podcast, the Brian Craig Show podcast. I played this clip on my podcast. Did you guys hear about this story with Governor Newsom at Target and the shoplifter? Oh my goodness. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Governor Newsom is a complete lunatic, all right? He was part of a shoplifting event at a California Target. And I'm going to share the audio of him relaying this story. I only wish he was running for president right now, because he would be out of the race over this. It is, you won't want to miss this, okay? I'm going to set it up and play it for you. But this is amazing. He went to a Target in California, and what had happened is the guy in front of him shoplifted right in front of him. And he questioned the Target cashier that was checking him out. Why didn't they stop the shoplifter? The Target cashier did not recognize Governor Newsom as the governor. She didn't know it was the governor yet. And he says, "Why didn't you stop that shoplifter?" And the cashier at Target said, "Because of the governor. He's legalized shoplifting." And he had a fit over it. And this came public because Newsom was on a Zoom meeting with California mayors, and they were waiting for the meeting to start. Newsom was there with some mayors, and he relayed the story. And it is a beautiful story. I'm going to play the audio after the top of the hour. You will not want to miss it. It is something that the media, like that James, you know, if you listen to this program, you get a lot of news you don't get in the mainstream media. These stories, you know, I had the James O'Keefe story. There's an update on that. Have you seen that on TV yet? No. This Newsom moment, this is I was going to do it now, but I looked at the clock. I don't have time to go through it and break it down before the top of the hour. So I'm going to do it after the top of the hour break because it's going to, when I play the audio and go through and break it down, it's going to take more than the time we have till the top of the hour break. So I'm going to do it after the top of the hour. Make sure if you've gotten to your destination in your car, just sit in your car in the parking lot, okay? I'm going to get to it right after the top of the hour. You will not want to miss it. And Governor Newsom, the mic just fell. Looks like we're getting shoplifted here. The mic just fell, Mike, again, right off the stand. I guess I'll have to hold it till the top of the hour. Oh, man. Our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Hold on. This is a two-man job. I'll hold it in place, and you can put the screw. The microphone just fell off the microphone arm, but I'm holding it with my hand. Okay, you got it screwed in there? Live on the air, guys. Live radio. This is what happens. It happens all the time. The screw to hold up the mic is too short, and I constantly tighten it throughout the show. But I walk around while I'm on the air so much. I'm always moving the mic with me because I'm moving all over the place, and it loosens up again. All right, so I'll get to that after the top of the hour. But I do want to play a clip of Jean-Pierre before the top of the hour. Jean-Pierre, she gave an interview, and she's talking about the Biden presidency. Listen to this. This is her description of the Biden first term. Listen to this. Oh, hold on. Let me turn up the volume. Hold on. We'll go back. Hold on, Jean-Pierre. Everything's falling apart here now. Okay, here we go.
Last 3 years, this president has accomplished more in 3 years than the other president has been able to do in 2 terms.
Okay. She just said Joe Biden has done more in 3 years than any other president has been able to do in 2 terms. Lincoln freed the slaves. Ronald Reagan defeated the Soviet Union and oversaw its collapse. What is she talking about? President Trump made the United States the largest producer of oil on the planet. I mean, you could go through history and find examples. Joe Biden has done more than any other president in 3 years than any other president has done in 2 terms. Now, you got to ask yourself, does she believe that, Jean-Pierre? She may. She may have believed that when she said it. I can't think of one positive. Now, it depends on who she's talking about. If you are an illegal, he's done more for you than any other president has done in 8 years. He's erased the southern border, and he's set you up here with a retirement plan, right? Free room and board for you and your family. You get your EBT recharged every month. They give you cash for your living expenses. Free education for the kids all the way through graduate school. So if you're a South American, Joe Biden has done more for you in 3 years than any other president has done for South Americans in 8 years. I can believe that. If you're Ukrainian in the Ukrainian government, like if you're related to Zelensky or you're one of his henchmen, you're worth maybe hundreds of millions of dollars because of Joe Biden. No other president has done that in 2 terms. So if you look at some of these things, I guess technically she could be accurate. But if you're talking about doing things for Americans in the United States, for her to say something like that is almost as stupid as that Nikki Haley bit I played earlier. All right. So we're going to take our break for the top of the hour. When we get back, we'll get into this Governor Newsom moment, which is beautiful. Oh, if only the media would run with these stories. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show, back right after our top of the hour break.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indian.
If you're on hold, stand by. And those of you in the chat room, if you're new, make sure you subscribe. If you're new to my channel, this is the most pro-Donald Trump MAGA place you'll find anywhere. There's over 1,300 in the live stream right now. So if you've not already done it, please like the video because that helps this video get discovered by people that have not yet found my channel. Oh, boy, oh, boy. Let me cue this Newsom. Gruesome Newsom. All right. Yeah, I know. So the car can only go so fast. That's crazy. It's insane. Done more to destroy America than any other president in 8 years. Yeah, well, maybe. Maybe that's what she meant. But I don't think that's what she meant. All right. Hmm. Hmm. We will be back in 18 seconds.
Even hard to find products, and we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian.
All right. 4 minutes after the hour, it is Friday, February 2nd, 2024. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show. And remember, Friday is open phones. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. You can call in about any and everything on your mind, for the most part. Say that disclaimer really quick, like on those car commercials, right? Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Patrick from Broward.
Hey. All right, Patrick. What's up?
I know I'm a day late, but I wanted to call in on the Joy Behar theory that Charlie Chaplin caused the Holocaust. I'm not sure I've ever heard anything more absurd in my life.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, I played that yesterday. Let me see if I still. You go ahead with what you're saying. I'll cue it up while you're talking.
But first of all, the Holocaust began long before The Great Dictator hit theaters.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why a big chunk of the reason why Charlie Chaplin made it. Kristallnacht killed almost 100 Jews in 1938.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind all the basically state-sponsored terrorism against the Jewish people in Germany. So I have no clue where she got this theory. I looked it up.
It's a stupid theory.
Apparently Hitler watched The Great Dictator alone.
Well, Charlie Chaplin made it's open phones, guys, but I love Charlie Chaplin. I love silent movies. I I watch them a lot, and I watch a lot of silent movies, not just Chaplin. I told everyone yesterday the best is Harold. If you want to see the greatest movie ever that's silent, Harold Lloyd. Oh boy, I just forgot the name of the movie. The one where he's hanging off the clock. It's about jobs. I'll remember the name and I'll tell people. But anyway, the reason that Charlie Chaplin made The Great Dictator, which was about Hitler, is because the Democrats, the leftists in this country, were appeasing Hitler. This is before we were in the war. They were friends with Hitler. They were making friends. And Charlie Chaplin was fed up with the appeasement of Hitler that was going on with leftists in the world, and he made the Great Dictator. That's why he did it. Joy Behar is a sick, stupid, twisted person.
Conservatives have been fired for making far less ignorant comments than that.
Well, we used to, the Anti-Defamation League used to be a real organization that would call out stupid anti-Semitism that's made by people like her, but they don't do that anymore.
And I mean, I looked it up. She was born Catholic, but I would guess that her first husband was Jewish. I can't.
I don't know.
It's just unreal.
God bless her first husband. I mean, could you imagine having to live with her?
One other thing I wanted to say: Joy Reid and Joy Behar, to me, are the two most ironically named people in the face of because they're all misery and hatred. I feel bad for them. I hate to wake up every morning with nothing but that much misery and hatred in my heart. But
yeah, ugly.
I could joy in either of them.
Yeah, that's what we call it. Joyless Reid, joyless Behar. Yeah. All right. Appreciate the call.
All right.
Thanks so much. I'll just play, before I get to news, let me just play the clip that the caller was referencing. I played this yesterday, but you might have missed it. Joy Behar, they're trashing Trump, and then she blames Charlie Chaplin for the Holocaust.
He is one of the most dangerous people of my lifetime to ever be in the Oval Office. He is probably the most dangerous. So you have somebody like, and he doesn't have a good sense of humor. We all know that at the correspondence dinner, when President Obama made a joke about him, his skin is thinner than his hair. And he got so pissed off that he had to run for president and go after poor Obama, who was born in this country. He is a menace. So, but the man doesn't take it. Doesn't it make it more funny? They made fun of Hitler. Charlie Chaplin made fun of Hitler in 1940. By 1945, millions and millions of people were dead.
Okay. Hitler was made fun of by Chaplin in 1940. 5 years later, millions were dead. So she blamed Charlie Chaplin not just for the Holocaust, but for all the deaths of World War II, even though the war began before Charlie Chaplin's movie, by the way. Not just the war in general began. All right, so let me get to this with Newsom. This is beautiful. So quick setup, then I'll just play it. Governor Newsom was in a Target in California, and it sounds like he took part in shoplifting. He helped a shoplifter. He says to the cashier at Target, "Why did you let that shoplifter go?" And the Target cashier did not recognize that the governor was her customer. And she says, "Because the governor." And he had a fit. So what happened with this audio, Governor Newsom was in a Zoom meeting with California mayors, and they were waiting for the other mayors to join. And while Newsom is there with a few mayors waiting for the other mayors to join the Zoom call, he tells the story. And some things get dropped by him, and then one of the mayors says something too. So here it is. Listen.
Says, "Sir, you dropped this." And he comes back, picks it up, and he's walking out. As we're checking out, the woman says, "Oh, he's just walking out. He didn't pay for that." I said, "Well, why are you stopping?" She goes, "Oh, the governor." Swear to God, true story. And my mom's great.
Okay, so that's the part. So he saw the shoplifter walk out of the store. He says to the cashier, "Why didn't you stop him?" Cashier says, "'Cause the governor." I love it.
He's just walking out. He didn't pay for that. I said, "Well, why are you stopping?" She goes, "Oh, the governor." Swear to God, true story. And my mom's great. The governor lowered the threshold. There's no accountability. I said, "It's just not true."
Okay, so the cashier at Target, and when I was in Los Angeles a couple months ago visiting my daughter, I had to go to Target the first night and buy some things I forgot to pack. And I was in line checking out with my daughter, and I almost said to the cashier, and I stopped myself because I thought it might trigger her and she might call the police. I was going to ask the cashier, since I'm in California, do I pay for these items or do I just walk out the front door with them? I don't know. But I didn't do it because I thought it would trigger. It was on the tip of my tongue to say that. But anyway, this cashier still doesn't know that she's talking to Governor Newsom.
Oh, the governor. Swear to God, true story. And my mom's great. The governor lowered the threshold. There's no accountability. I said it's just not true.
Okay, the cashier said, why'd you not stop the shoplifter? She said, because of the governor, there's no accountability. And Newsom says, that's not true.
And I said, we have the 10th toughest, $950, the 10th toughest in America.
Okay. Then he said, the reason I'm repeating this is because I know the audio is not that great, but when you got a guy saying this, it doesn't matter the fidelity. You got to play it. He said, that's simply not true. The $950 shoplifting felony penalty is the strongest in the nation. Now, what he leaves out about that is, if it's under $950, you're free as a bird. And I have seen multiple videos from store surveillance cameras of shoplifters stealing, but before they leave, they sit down on the floor and add up the dollar value of the items they're stealing to make sure they're under $950. You probably have seen those too. If you haven't, you can find them online.
She doesn't know what I was talking about. By the way, it's the 10th toughest in America. Look it up. No one gives a damn about it. And I said, it's just not true. There's still stop. He said, well, we don't stop them because of the government.
She says, the cashiers, he says, that's not true. California, we have the 10th strongest laws. She still doesn't know it's the governor. And the Target worker says, no, we can't stop them because of the governor.
And then she looks at me twice, and then she freaks out. She calls everyone over, wants to take photos. I'm like, no, I'm not taking a photo. We're having a conversation. Where's your manager? How are you blaming the governor?
Okay. So then, she realizes she's talking to Governor Newsom. And then he says that she calls everyone over and she wants to take a selfie with the governor. He says, no, we're not going to take a picture. We're going to go talk to your manager about you blaming the governor. Now, any person who refers to themselves in the third person is a lunatic, okay, crazy person, which he just did. He didn't say, you're blaming me, you're blaming the governor. So now we have, and I got a question for you out there. Are Target workers unionized in California? I know many retail workers are and grocery workers are. Are Target workers unionized in California? I don't know. So now we have Governor Newsom. He's trying to get this Target cashier in trouble, reprimanded, maybe even fired, because she's blaming him for the shoplifting that's going on.
And then she looks at me twice, and then she freaks out. She calls everyone over, wants to take photos. I'm like, no, I'm not taking a photo. We're having a conversation. Where's your manager? How are you blaming the governor? And it was, $380 later. And I was like, why am I spending $380? Everyone can walk the hell right out.
Not fair. Not fair. Yeah.
It's my target. Sorry.
I'm going to go ahead and get us started. I know that Mayor Gloria and Mayor Breed are still logging on, so...
Okay, so then at the very tail end, Newsom mumbles, as they're about to get started, I hope there were no reporters listening in. Well, there were, and we're reporting it, Newsom. Oh my God, have you seen this on television? And by the way, this is a Zoom meeting, so it looks like Hollywood Squares, right? It's Newsom in a square, and then all these mayors in a square, and more are joining in. It's perfect video, and they can put subtitles on it, so they don't have to do an audio transcript like I just did for television. This video should be the top and bottom of the news on every news broadcast on television today. Should have been there yesterday. Okay, I had this yesterday. Okay, but I'm sharing it with you guys this morning. This is a huge story. And of course the shoplifting is because of him. And it opens up the door to another discussion. Here you have a low-income Target cashier who's ticked off at the way the Democrats are running the country, and the crime is rampant where Democrats are in control, which is a constant theme in this country. All right? And imagine the bullying that would take place here. You have Governor Newsom, very powerful man, I want to follow up on this. Did he take this cashier to the manager? Did he report her to the man? Or I don't know if it was her, could have been, I think he said or her. Did he report her to the manager? Was she punished? Was she reprimanded? Was she fired? Does she have kids she takes care of with this job? What happened? You know, this is the thing. The media used to do this stuff. There's enough information there for one of these reporters to go to California, find out. I'm assuming it's got to be a target either in San Francisco or Sacramento. It's got to be one of those two. He was shopping. Okay? They got to be able to track down what he was. My guess is San Francisco, buying it for his own home, because he spent $380. If it's the governor's mansion, which is probably too small for him, he probably would have the state buy it. But reporters could track this cashier down and do a story on this entire story, interview this woman, this cashier, and find out what happened. By the way, he could call have any of you ever called the police? I have. He could call the police. He's got a cell phone. Why didn't he call the police? Find out if he got the girl fired. Find out if he talked to the manager. Find out if he talked to the manager. Let's find out what he said. And you know, he told this story. He was bragging. He doesn't even realize how ugly this is. Intimidation, trying to get a hardworking Target cashier fired. What kind of governor is this? He's a monster, a dictator. He's a complete lunatic. But I'd also like to hear the cashier tell the story. Because, you know, everyone's the star of their own movie. He's telling the story as bad as it makes him look. He doesn't realize how bad it makes him look. He's telling it from a perspective to make him look the best that he can look. I want to hear the cashier tell the story about the exchange, and I'm very curious about how angry he got there. Another thing about Target. Target, I shop at Target, they have, and you'll see sometimes on these ID specials, surveillance cameras from Target. Target has the highest quality store surveillance of any retail store I've ever seen. It's an Ultra HD. It's like 4K. Okay? There is video of this. There is video of Governor Newsom having this exchange with this cashier. We can see the shoplifter. There's video of that, as well as the exchange he had with the manager, if that took place. Where's the media? I know they're obsessed over the guys with the middle fingers in New York, but this is a massive story, and there's a lot of legs to it. All right, we'll take our first break of the third hour. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. Our number is 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Brian Craig here. When it comes time to get my blood work done, I don't have time to spend hours at the doctor's office or waiting hours for one of those big labs. That's why I go to any lab test now in Boca and any lab test now in Coral Springs for all of my lab work. Their techs are highly skilled and professional, and their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest on lab work you'll find anywhere. Appointments aren't necessary. Doctor's orders and prescriptions, they're not needed either. I'm in and out in 15 minutes or less. I get the results the next day in my email box, and they also send it to my doctor. There's lots of any lab test nows around, but these are the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to any lab test now in Boca and any lab test now in Coral Springs. Any lab test now in Boca is in the Singleton Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, between Palmetto Park Road and Hillsborough Boulevard on the east side of Any lab test now in Coral Springs is on the southeast corner of University and Ravenwood by the Coral Square Mall. Call any lab test now in Boca at 561-237-5009. Any lab test now at Coral Springs number is 954-906-5983. And don't forget to mention that you heard about them on the radio.
You can make 2024 the year of more ocean views and quality time with your cruise with Margaritaville at Sea's new buy one, get three promotion. Now, for a limited time, you can bring up to 3 guests for free when you buy just 1 guest fare. Bring your friends, family, or kids along for free on fun-soaked getaways to the Bahamas, aboard the Margaritaville at Sea Paradise, or adventure together with your best mates in Mexico and Key West this summer aboard the all-new Islander. Don't miss out on a sail like no other. Go to MargaritavilleAtSea.com and book today.
Brian Craig here. If you're a homeowner, business owner, or with a homeowners association and your roof is old or compromised, you need to call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. With a AAA credit rating and bonded up to $10 million, Laporta Contracting doesn't need a large deposit like those other contractors do. Typical deposits other contractors want are 1/3 of the contract. If your job is $30,000, that's a $10,000 deposit. If your job is $300,000, that's $100,000. What are they doing with your money? Typically, it takes 3 to 4 weeks to get a permit, and HOAs, much longer. If they need money for the materials, they don't have credit with the suppliers, and that spells bad news for the homeowner or HOA. Tom Laporta is honest, knowledgeable, and reliable, and he'll never sell you a roof you don't need. Laporta Contracting has been in the roofing and contracting business since 1988, and his services cover the east and west coast of Florida and everywhere in between. Tom Laporta can handle any type of roofing job too. Residential roofing and repair, commercial roofs, schools, municipal buildings, office buildings, emergency repairs. If it's roofing, Tom Laporta can do it. Call Tom Laporta right now on his cell phone, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. And online, LaportaContracting.com. Have you put off buying new tires because you thought they were too expensive? Find friendly prices at Friendly Tire and Margate on both new and used tires. New tires as low as $70 a tire. That's out the door and on the road because Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire or mount the tire. They have thousands of used tires in stock too, starting at just $30. Call for a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. I want to talk about Friendly Tire in Margate. Listen, there's no need to be driving around on bald tires. You know, Friendly Tire in Margate, I've been a customer there for at least 15 years, long before they were an advertiser on the program. He has thousands of good used tires in stock in every size you can imagine. And new tires, you can get new tires at Friendly Tire at the lowest prices anywhere. He has all the name brands you know and love, Bridgestone, Pirelli, Goodyear, Firestone. He has them all. Great deals on run flats, and he can help you with any type of vehicle as well, even if you have industrial vehicles, okay? Give him a call. Now remember, when you call Friendly Mike, the price he quotes you over the phone is out the door and on the road, okay? He doesn't charge you to balance the tire, mount the tire, or dispose of your old tire. There are no hidden charges. The price he quotes you over the phone, that low, low price, that's out the door and on the road. Here's his number, 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. One more time, that's 954-977-9445. Make sure you tell him you heard about him on the Steve Kane Show. He'll take extra good care of you. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, Larry from Pembroke Pop.
Hey, Larry.
How you doing? You know, that story caught my attention about Governor Newsom. 2 things. One, I'm positive that the Target employees are told, don't intervene or you'll be fired. Number 2, when you ever see these stories on the TV, the employee ends up either getting hurt or killed by intervening. And number 3, why didn't Governor Newsom step in and stop the guy?
And didn't Newsom have a trooper with him or something? Or is he walking around without a trooper? You know, I'll tell you that Starbucks just fired a guy for stopping a shoplifter. But I'll tell you, when I was in high school, I worked at Publix on Davie Boulevard, okay? And we used to have shoplifters and thieves all the time. The place got robbed. and you don't go after them. It's dangerous. You're gonna run after them for a can of soup? I mean, or whatever they're stealing? Forget about it.
Exactly, and yeah, he doesn't have enough sense or self-awareness to realize he looks like an idiot. He puts everybody in jeopardy. He's complaining about the price, and the reason the price was so high is because of their laws.
The thievery.
And
this story, I have no doubt that story is true. He was bragging. He thought that he was so upset he had to defend his honor to people that somebody is speaking this way of him. And I'd like to know if he got the girl fired.
Oh, I'm sure he did. I'm sure he got her in a lot of trouble.
Oh, my goodness.
The manager stood up and said, no, our policy is she'd get fired.
My favorite part is when he says, when she wants to we're not going to take a picture. We're going to talk to the manager about you blaming the governor. What is it? It's a crime? Free speech against the governor is a crime in California? Oh, my goodness. I better tell my daughter. She just got back to L.A. Don't criticize Governor Newsom.
More than shoplifting, obviously.
Obviously. All right, take care. Oh, my goodness. I bet she felt so stupid when she found out it was a guy. I'll tell you. Oh, my goodness. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Augustino.
Hey, Augustino. How you doing?
I'm okay. I'm just kind of like sitting back here thinking, what do you think about this Donald Trump RFK deal? Do you think that's going to come through?
No. First off, Robert Kennedy to be Trump's it's not going to happen, okay? He is a Democrat, guys. For Robert Kennedy to be Trump's running mate, he would have to leave the Democrat Party and officially become a Republican to receive the nomination. No Kennedy is going to become a Republican. They might lose their trust fund. The Kennedy Trust Fund may get cut off if they do that. It's not going to happen.
Well, I don't know. They've been saying it, and they talked to Robert.
The Trump... Robert. The Trump campaign said the story's not true. Yesterday, Robert Kennedy said his marriage wouldn't survive it. His wife would leave him over it.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I thought that might be a great ticket.
It'd be a terrible ticket. First off, he's so damaged. You know, there's this story around him about liking some sexy thing on TikTok. He has a history of perversions. He drove his first wife to suicide. Back in the 90s, you guys can Google this. There was a major story in the 90s about this in the New York Post. So you can Google this and put New York Post in the search terms. It'll come up. Robert Kennedy Jr. was traveling the country speaking about something all the time in the 90s. And his wife found his diary. He had a woman he was cheating with in every city in America. And in the diary, he had detailed notes about what sex acts she liked and how good she was at all of them and everything else with a rating score. And this diary went public. And the reason, the reason it hasn't gone public yet, again, is because the Democrats are waiting to see if he's going to be a problem for them. And if they need to take him out of the running, they'll release the diary. His wife committed suicide, and the conventional thinking at the time was he drove her to it from his affairs in this diary. So he's an incredibly flawed person.
Well, okay, if you say so, I'm going to go ahead and listen to you, but...
Yeah, well...
Never talking about it, and I thought it might be a great ticket.
Terrible ticket. You don't... Yeah.
What about Tucker Carlson?
It's not going to be Tucker Carlson either.
Who's it going to be?
I don't know. It could be Kristi Noem. It could be Sarah Huckabee. It could be Greg Abbott. I don't know. I know who it's not going to be. It's not going to be Robert Kennedy. It's not going to be Nikki Haley, and it's not going to be DeSantis. Hey, Augustino, I got to run, but thanks for the call. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. The Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created. Here's the oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. Hope your day's off to a great start. We'll see daytime
Okay, I told Richie I'm doing a sound bites by request. Richie missed the part of the show with the Nikki Haley stuff, so I'm going to replay the sound bites for Nikki Haley. I've got a couple more things I hope I have time to get to. But I told him I would do it, so I got to do it.
Southern Boulevard eastbound passing Military Trail. This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. In the morning, Taco Bell keeps it toned down and simple like the breakfast crunch wrap with fluffy eggs, sausage, melted cheese, and a crispy hash brown and a grilled tortilla. Nothing too wild, just delicious. Taco Bell breakfast served until 11 a.m. That's traffic.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Check out the big game party February 11th in the Paddock Restaurant at PBKC with a delicious $30 all-you-can-eat buffet, great drink specials, also big prizes including tickets to your favorite team's regular season game next season, and all the super action on over 140 HD TVs. The Paddock is your perfect spot to catch all the OTB and sports action. For tickets and info, go to pbkennelclub.com.
Oh, man. We'll be back shortly, guys. Sometimes during the breaks, I have to rest my mouth and jaws and tongue, especially at the end of the week, because doing the show and then my podcast, all the commercials you hear me recording and stuff, my mouth and get tired and sore. Like right now, I'm a little sore. I don't talk a lot right after the show. You know, it's like you got to rest your muscle. But my jaws are like really sore right now. I often tell people that my mouth gets more work than one of Hunter Biden's prostitutes. All right, we will be back in 29 seconds. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, guys. You will love this channel. All right, here we go.
6642. That's 754-222-6642.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 47 years on the air.
All right, welcome back. If you're on hold, stand by. It is Open Phones, Open MAGA Mike Friday. And, of course, on Open it's hard to say, I got to say it slow. On Open MAGA Mike Friday, you can call in about any and everything on your mind. You are not limited to the topics that I bring up. Our number 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian, this is Ike.
Hey, Ike.
Question. Why are you so divisive? You're the most divisive person on the radio.
Really? Oh, so I'm number one. I'm number one on radio.
You're the most divisive.
Well, that makes me number one. That makes me number one in the divisive category. That's great. That's awesome. Thank you. Yeah. What have I said or done today that's divisive? Seriously.
Not today is everything what you say.
Well, give me an example of the last thing I said that is, in your opinion, inappropriately divisive.
Well, I mean, the inappropriate divisive is divisive.
Well, give me an example of something I've said that's divisive that you take issue with.
Okay, all the time I've heard you say all Democrats are stupid. That's divisive. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't say something so generic. There has to be more. Nikki Haley's stupid Democrat. Yes.
You have done that. I mean, I never hear you say anything good about a black person. You always.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What have I? What? Excuse me.
Yeah, that lie. The lady you said the lie.
Sonny, yeah.
Huge. Yeah. I mean, all black people are not going to react the same way off that. And that was a racist statement.
No, she said, Sonny Hostin on The View, I played the clip earlier. I can play it again if you need it. She said that she has described her sons as very big guys, right? Let me play the clip. Hold on, stay with me. I'm going to play this clip for people that didn't hear it. I'm going to give my reaction to it, but I want people to hear the statement. Slow down. Listen. Unfortunately, sometimes in the morning, people have to go to the ladies' room or men's room. They might miss a second. Sonny Hostin on The View told a story about her son in Florida that I don't believe.
Are we saying, do we think the vast majority of Americans are racist? That's what I'm trying to... I hope we understand
that there is a significant that are racist, and you can't dismiss my lived experience.
I never would say. I would never...
When I say that there are a lot of racists in this country, I just experienced my son walking down the beach being called the N-word several times in Florida.
Okay. She just witnessed her son being called the N-word multiple times walking down the beach in Florida. I call total BS on that. First of all, if someone starts shouting the N-word out multiple times, and now again, as I say, one of his black friends may have done it, but the idea that someone who's not black on the beach in Florida shouted out the N-word in public to her adult son and her, and no one said anything, did anything, confronted the person, I call total BS on that story.
It could be the truth, though.
Now, come on. Come on. When is the last time this happened to you? You're a black man in Florida. When is the last time this happened to you? Watch it until this happened yesterday. Watch.
Thing that I taught my son. Racism won't hurt you unless you let it.
I know. It's not what they call you. It's how you respond to it. I know all those talking points. Tell us about the last time someone yelled at some white person that you didn't know started calling you the N-word.
You'll never hear me say what racism has done for me.
No. Oh, please. Now, listen. Tell the story of... You're a black man in Florida. Tell us the story of the last time people were yelling the N-word at you walking through Florida.
It could be the same, man. It could be the same.
What?
Her attitude could be the same as mine.
When is the last time a white person called you the N-word out in public here in Florida?
I don't know because I don't pay attention to it.
So never. So that means never. You've never had it happen.
It's happened to me, but I can't.
When? Tell me the last time it's happened to you. Like, there's a difference between saying and thinking. Like right now, you're thinking that I'm an a-hole, right? Doesn't mean someone's calling me that, but I can guess you're thinking. When is the last time somebody actually called you the N-word who was not black?
I missed everything you just said.
Of course. Okay, I'll repeat it for the 5th time as you try to manufacture an answer. When is the last time that a non-black person called you in public the N-word?
Didn't you hear what I said? I don't focus on that. I don't know.
So that means never. That means never. You have no, it's never happened to you.
I just can't tell you when.
When? What do you mean? You forgot? You didn't hear it? If somebody, you're telling me that someone called you the N-word and you have no recollection of it? Come on.
It was April the 12th.
Of never. Yeah, April 12th of never. No. You just made up a date? April 12th?
You keep asking me that same crazy question.
Well, because it's never happened. It's never happened to you.
I've never been called nigger.
Oh, no. The only person that said the word is you. Oh, my goodness. He's the one that said it. Oh, my goodness. And I'll tell you something about that call. That's a sad call, okay? And I'll tell you why. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm waiting for the delay to build back up. If you're on hold, stand by, okay? The delay will be big. But this is why that's a sad call. Until this moment in time, he actually thought people were calling him the N-word. And it's the first time that he's had to, deal with the fact that it's never happened. He's been walking around thinking people are calling him the N-word probably his whole life, and no one said, well, tell me when it happened. Tell me the experience. And the only person that said it was him. You're on the air. Oh, my goodness. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Carol, I'm calling from Boca Raton, Florida.
Hey, Carol in Boca.
I read an article yesterday in the Epoch Times. I don't know if you're familiar with it. And it said that Qatar is funding Hamas, Hezbollah.
Who's funding? Who's funding these terrorists?
$200 million each.
Who?
I was shocked.
Who's funding them?
Not only that, but I looked on
this work, Mike?
Website, and they're giving $321 billion to illegal immigrants all over the world. And that was another shock.
Who is funding the terrorist? Who?
Qatar.
Qatar.
$1 million each.
Well, Qatar, that's not surprising. All right, okay. Qatar is a Muslim country.
Exactly.
So that's not surprising.
4 terrorist groups. And not only that, but when I went to the UN website, $321 billion is going to illegal immigrants.
Oh, my goodness.
World.
Yeah, I can believe it. Now, listen, it's called the Epic Times. I know it's spelled that way, but it's Epic, not Epoch. Epic.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I actually, I'll tell you how I used to think. All right, I absolutely think. I used to call it that too, and I met one of the guys from the Epic Times up at Mar-a-Lago, and I asked him, I said, how do you pronounce the name of your publication? He said, it's Epic. I said, it looks like Epoch. He's like, no, it's Epic. Okay. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Will you please make an
No. We do not allow, our black liberal caller. We do not allow the N-word on the program. My goodness. You know what he was? Let me break and regroup. Plus, I have to play that soundbite. I promised Richie I would read. I'm not doing soundbites right by request again. Okay, it's a very unusual thing. But Richie said he slept in and missed a part of the show. Shame on you, Richie. All right, we'll take a break and be back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Brian Craig here. If you're a homeowner, business business owner or with a homeowners association and your roof is old or compromised, you need to call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. With a AAA credit rating and bonded up to $10 million, Laporta Contracting doesn't need a large deposit like those other contractors do. Typical deposits other contractors want are 1/3 of the contract. If your job is $30,000, that's a $10,000 deposit. If your job is $300,000, that's $100,000. What are they doing with your money? Typically, it takes 3 to 4 weeks to get a permit, and HOAs, much longer. If they need money for the materials, they don't have credit with the suppliers, and that spells bad news for the homeowner or HOA. Tom Laporta is honest, knowledgeable, and reliable, and he'll never sell you a roof you don't need. Laporta Contracting has been in the roofing and contracting business since 1988, and his services cover the east and west coast of Florida and everywhere in between. Tom Laporta can handle any type of roofing job too. Residential roofing and repair, commercial roofs, schools, municipal buildings, office buildings, emergency repairs. If it's roofing, Tom Laporta can do it. Call Tom Laporta right now on his cell phone, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. And online, LaportaContracting.com.
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's Lisa, and my husband and I received our My Pillow 2.0 that we ordered with Kane the other day. The buy one get one free, and they're our first My Pillows, and we love them. We absolutely love them. They're just absolutely marvelous. I'm so glad. I got slippers on the way too.
Go to MyPillow.com and use our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, and buy your My Pillow 2.0. Right now, buy one, get one free. You can also order by phone, toll free, 800-716-4879. 800-716-4879. Promo code Kane. Brian Craig here with a question for seniors and those who care about them. How would you like to have instant access to a healthcare advocate at the touch of a button? Will that make life easier for you? You can with I Will Advocates. I Will Advocates will help you set up doctor's appointments, help with your pharmacy, even deal with your pharmacist to make sure that you have your prescriptions. They'll help you find a doctor, including a specialist. If you've been billed improperly by a doctor's office or a hospital, they can help you with that too. They'll even be your advocate when you're in the hospital to make sure you get the care you need and the care you deserve. And that's just the beginning of what they do. I Will Advocates takes care of all Steve Kane's healthcare issues too, and they can do the same for you. I Will Advocate clients are family, and they go to bat for their family when you need them the most. Call Debbie at I Will Advocates right now. Toll free, 1-877-275-2326. 1-877-275-2326. 1-877-275-2326.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, guys, welcome back. I got to ask you guys some help, totally unrelated to all the news and the politics, okay? You know, I told you guys I got a new TV this week, and and I was about to take the old TV to the curb because bulk pickup day, right? And then I realized, well, I can't just throw this TV away because with a smart TV, you got all the apps. It's got all our passwords in it, right? So, you know, that's how it is now, right? You watch all the apps and everything. So the TV's got all of our passwords stored in it. And I don't know how to get it, erase it. So I go online and I look up how to erase a smart TV. And I find 1,000,001 directions on how to take the remote control and do it. But I don't have the remote control anymore because I tossed the remote control when the new TV came before I threw this one away and the garbage man took it. So I don't have a remote control for the TV. How do you erase? And I saw someone that gave me directions on hooking up a computer keyboard to the TV. I tried that. That didn't work. How do you get your password? How do you dispose of a TV? How do I get the passwords off of the television, the old TV, before I throw it away? Does anyone know how to remove the hard drive? DM me on Twitter. If it's quick, you can call me. But don't throw your smart TVs away. It's got all your passwords on it, okay? Including your Wi-Fi. So if anybody's got any tips on that. But last night, I'm serious about that. I almost threw it away, and then I realized. Last night, though, on our new TV, my wife and I were watching Chips from 1977, the first season of Chips, and it's kind of ridiculous. We got the latest, greatest television with the greatest picture, and we're watching shows from the 70s that have not been remastered. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but, you know, I like Chips. And we had Eric Estrada in studio, and I also had Larry Wilcox on the show once too, because I'm such a big fan of Chips. We don't do celebrity interviews, but I did those. But we're watching Chips, and there's a knock at the door. It was just like this, And I went to answer the door. My wife said, "No, let's see who's there." And my wife looked, because we got the doorbell camera, and it was a salesman trying to trick us. He almost tricked me. But he knocked like he knew us. He didn't do like, salesman. He went like, But I just want to tell you, because I know some of you have asked me about this. What's the offer for Sloman's? Because that doorbell camera is amazing. I would have opened up my door to this guy last night. Okay, this is what they're offering, just so you know. Here's the offer from Sloman's. They're offering you a free $1,500 value home security system with professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. So you get an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 10 entry points, a lifetime service plan, professional installation, and a backup battery. And you also get a free doorbell camera, like I have, with the installation of your Sloman Shield. So let me give you guys the number, 1-833-283-5050. 1-833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050, all right? Okay, the phone lines have lit up. Now, if these lines are lit up about the erasing of the television and the first person tells me, hang in there, because you might have better advice than this person. But just keep in mind, I no longer have the television remote. All right? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, it's Renee from Harlem.
Oh, hey, Renee.
Yeah, you and Richie the Racist like to target...
Excuse me. I want to tell you Renee, before you get into your rant, which I'm going to let you do, okay? The guy that called up earlier that was defending the lady on The View, okay, he, like you, an African-American caller, he used the N-word. He used the N-word. I didn't, he did. The black man used the N-word. And did you notice what I did?
Trump did.
No, hold on. Maybe you didn't. The caller used the N-word. What did I do? What was my response?
I don't care.
Oh, well, I care. I hung up on him, and I hit the dump button so it didn't go out over the air, because we don't allow the N-word. It's one of those words, right? He's a black man. He used the N-word. I hung up on him and dumped it. If I were a racist, why would I dump the N-word when a black man said it? Why would a racist not allow the N-word out over the show?
That is not the issue.
Oh, yeah, logic, backing up your accusations. All right, finish up with your filth.
Yes, oh, thank you, sir. The problem is you're a racist.
Oh.
Justify it by talking to other racists to make you're saying the right thing.
Now, do you know how? Do you have any advice on how to erase my smart TV before I dispose of it?
I could care less. Throw it out.
Throw it out with all my passwords. Yeah.
You're a bigot. You're an idiot. Callers are bigots.
Wait. Callers are bigots. You're a caller. Does that mean you're a bigot? You said callers are bigots. You're a caller. Are you a bigot?
I'm calling in.
Okay. Oh, no. You said callers are bigots, oh my goodness. Logic. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
As God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly.
Oh, WKRP. That's right.
I just wanted to get that in there.
That's the best episode. All right. I do. But you're the best. Yeah, WKRP. Yep. That's the funny. The Thanksgiving turkey episode of WKRP in Cincinnati is the funniest episode ever in the history of American television. It's hilarious. If you haven't seen it, watch it. I'm sure it's online for free. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, it's JJ from Mass.
Hey, JJ.
A couple takeaways from the show today. I'm thinking about Sonny Austin.
BS story.
Oh, the N-word?
Multiple times on the beach.
I'm thinking Jesse Smollett's definitely in town. And as far as your boom mic goes, that was, saying the short screw. So You need a longer screw for that, and Californians need a much shorter one with regards to their governor.
Oh, you're just filled with cliches and stuff today. You're doing good.
This Target employee, to me, it is the epitome, and he actually thought that he had somehow done something good.
Oh, he was bragging.
It's insane. And this is like, the thing that I would like to know, does he really truly think that, or is he just saying that to try to cover?
Governor Newsom is, and I don't say this figuratively, he's insane. Look at him. He looks crazy.
That's where I'm leaning, because I just can't see, you can't really truly believe that normal people would, actually believe that tripe that he was. These are crazy people, talking to other crazy people.
And Governor Newsom's story, I believe that happened. It's too bizarre.
Well, I really want to know. I hope some people follow up on that, because I want to know about that.
I'm trying to make it as public as I can. All right, take care, JJ. Have a great weekend. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Pete from Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, Pete.
Yeah, first thing I want to tell you about your TV. You're on YouTube. I'm watching you on YouTube right now. But go on YouTube, and you can find out how to do anything. I didn't even have any idea about cell phones. I fixed several of our great-grandchildren's cell phones. I fixed mine twice. And
No, I did that. I went on YouTube. I could not find a solution without the remote control. There's a lot of solutions with the remote control, and I can't find. I threw the remote control out. I didn't think I'd need it.
Yeah, it's kind of a hit and miss thing. I mean, they wanted $1,600 to fix my air conditioner on my truck, and I went on YouTube and
fixed it yourself.
Fixed $79 in parts. Cost me $12.50 at Harbor Freight for the gear pullers.
Wow.
Fixed it in about an hour and a half. It's been fixed for 2 years.
Wow. That's great.
Yeah, okay.
All right, take care. Take care. Yes. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Joellen from Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, Joellen. 2 in a row from Fort Lauderdale. Welcome.
So people like, I think that was Renee just calling in. You know what? What do they think they are? What do you call people like that talk about that? They hate white people. They're racist.
Well, I'll tell you, when Nikki Haley was on that Charlemagne the God interview this week, I listened to the whole interview, and in the beginning of it, he asked her if this was a racist country, and she said no. She said, you shouldn't brand everybody racist and everything else, and he said to her that if the country was racist when it was founded, the entire principle of the country is flawed, he said to her. And that, as crazy as that sounds, now I understand where black liberal racists are coming from. They think because racism was more mainstream back in 1776 that our whole country is invalid because of that. That's insanity.
Yeah. And about Newsom, I think I had called in once before. There's some comedian that had interviewed him. I think it was a comedian that interviewed Newsom before, and he says, this guy is not there.
No, you can see it in his eyes. If you look in his eye, he's got the same look in his eyes as Governor Whitmer. Complete insanity. I'm not kidding. You can see it. They're crazy. Well, most people that go into politics are narcissists. And there's different degrees of it. And Newsom is very far gone. All right, Joel, and I appreciate the call. All right. We're out of time for the week. But listen, if you're on hold, stand by. I'll be back Monday morning at 6 a.m. And if you're on hold right now, you'll be first in line on Monday morning's program. All right. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 47 years on the radio this year. All right, guys, God bless America, and of course, God bless Donald Trump. See you Monday morning at 6 a.m.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar.
Well, I didn't get to replay the soundbite for Richie. Oh, well, he'll have to rewind the YouTube video. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and like the video before you go. All right, I'll see you over the weekend. Take care.